which I'm looking forward to because I enjoy replay code reviews. And then we'll do the drawing for the actual stuff later on. But yeah, hey THK, good to see you. So yeah, let's get this started here. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, thank you. Was that coffee?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Reviewing you. Thanks for. There's an older code. It's an older code, Chode. Or older codes. Chode. Older code, sir, but it checks out.
Please don't ever say that again.
Conk, which one are you? Oh, you're Conk. I'm an idiot. I'm sitting here like, oh, which one is Conk? I'm dense. Sorry guys. It's a problem. Okay, so let's pull up the form here. We'll go through the form really quickly here. Can I have my phone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Freudian chode slip. What does chode even mean? I don't even know. I feel like it's something crude. Oh no, what does it mean? What is chode? Oh my gosh. What? I didn't even know what it meant. I was like, what? Maybe it's just I'm not British enough. It sounds like a British word. I'm not Googling and showing it on stream. Dang it, guys. I was like, I knew this is a word. I know this is a word I don't normally say, so I don't think it's a good word. It wasn't a good word. It was not a good word, guys. So yeah, code and check are not a good combo. Okay, so let's check out Dan's. Let's check out Mr. Conk's code here. Okay, so hero pool and rank, Ramattra, Orisa, and Winston. We're in Plat 3. Changing gameplay. What are your long-term and short-term goals in Overwatch? Changing gameplay based off on what my team is doing and what the enemy team is playing. Okay. Tunnel vision and understanding of the game and what to do. Sleep looks okay. How can I improve without dealing with in-game and toxicity? So we could talk a little bit about in-game toxicity. So here's the thing with in-game toxicity. We've talked about this before, but you have two decisions when it comes to in-game toxicity, and you have to decide which direction you want to go. You can either go full on and focus only on I'm gonna mute everybody and everything. I'm the second anybody gets toxic, I'm gonna mute them. I'm gonna deafen. I might even join team voice chat. Maybe I even mute match chat, all that kind of stuff. That's what I've been doing recently because I just don't have the time to care. So to me, it's just all distractions, okay? Or there's the opposite route where you just don't avoid it at all and you just play through it and you learn to just not care that much because you just expose yourself to it with such a high frequency that it no longer bothers you. Now, you could really do both, either of those things, and you can really do both. You can toughen your mental, or you can just avoid it entirely because it's really just distractions. You're playing in Plat.
It's called denial.
Yeah, and a lot of the communication in Plat is not going to be the most helpful or most insightful. So it's really up to you about how you want to handle this. I would be at the very least, be very fast on the mute button. Be very, don't rely overly on super coordinated coordination. Just focus on playing as best as you possibly can. And if you do make callouts in game, make those callouts the most important callouts. Like I'm going in, I'm going out. I'm going to use my ult here. Mute speedrun got to be under a second. Yeah, so it's super coordination. Shut up, Baldy. So yeah, it's all about trying to find out what communication is important, what communication is not important. And to be honest with you, communication in most strengths just isn't really that necessary. It's better to have a general visual and audio awareness of where your team is positioned and playing around that than it is to constantly be coordinating and communicating. It's one of the sad truths about the game. Because it's rough. Right now I just have everything off. That works totally fine. To be honest, even as a main tank, that works totally fine. I have had zero issues playing main tank without communication, as long as I was very aware of where my team was, and maybe that is a problem with you, and we'll take a look. Okay. My tank hero pool has changed a lot over time. I solo queue without communicating. Okay, sounds fine. So I guess my only question for you, maybe this is something you can elaborate on in chat. I'll check it after we get into the gameplay. So if you have the time to type it up a little bit, I would do so. How often do you play per day? And aiming for consistent gameplay. Are you good with that? Because obviously, if you want to improve, especially like let's say if we want to get you from Plat 3 to Diamond, then it's going to be all about trying to take the time to play at least, let's say, aim for 2 hours per day, consistently every single day whenever possible. If you can't quite get that, if it's an hour and a half, that's fine. If you're not able to play 6 days or 7 days a week, if you have to be 4 or 5 days, that's fine as well. But we want to aim for that as much as we possibly can. Okay, let's actually get into the. Okay, I was like, Nightbot, hello. Let's actually get into the gameplay here, and then if you have any questions, just feel free to holler. Let's begin. Okay, Orisa. Is that all Orisa? Mostly Orisa. It is a little bit of Ramattra, Orisa. I guess I'll have to put my earbuds in, otherwise the echo will be too bad. Y'all a bunch of whiners, so it is what it is. But we'll go. If you're EU, the comms don't work often, anyways. Yeah. Okay, so let's plug up our earbuds so people don't whine about echo. You know, back in my day, I could stream without, just unplugged and just shoot and holler and scream and turn up the volume, and nobody complained about echoing. Tell you what, man, kids these days. Okay, let's take a look at Orisa. So with Orisa, it's all about cooldowns, cover, and playing to your strengths versus the enemy composition. Like, for example, with Orisa, you have the dynamic, and this is the case with a lot of tanks, Junker Queen, Ramattra, Orisa. There's always going to be some form of nuance with how you're playing it. For example, if they roll it on Winston, you're probably going to be playing more for poke, more for pressure on the tank line. If you roll out into Sigma, you're probably going to be looking to close the distance more often than not, or at least looking to avoid their spam sightlines. Like, Orisa is very good in Brawl if she has cooldowns. She's very bad in Brawl if she doesn't. She's very good in spam, but also if they have like proper spam, like long range heroes, she's not that good at that and she wants to get close. So it's getting, you have to read the situation, read the composition, and make the call. And then you also have to find the way that your cooldowns can complement. Your cooldowns can be used to, you could use your Fortify and shoot. You can also use your Fortify and run in. You could use your Fortify to survive. You could use your Javelin to push. You could use your Javelin to get out. It's all going to be up to you. I probably average a little over an hour a day. Most days 1 hour, some days none, and some days 2 hours. Okay, so try and find as much consistency with that as possible. And then I would also recommend probably, you listed Orisa, Ramattra, and what was the other tank? Winston. If that's only all that you're playing, I would try to cut down on one of those tanks, try and aim for just 2, because playing 3 tanks when you're averaging like only a little over an hour a day, it's going to be tough. I'll be honest with you. So maybe what I would do is for right now, play Orisa Ramattra or Winston Ramattra or Winston Orisa, and then if the meta changes or your tastes change, then adjust accordingly. Let's go. There come. I'm sniffing spam. Constant pressure. They do not have a lot of ranged pressure, so we want to leverage that as much as we possibly can. What you're doing now is okay if you have cooldowns. So this is what we have to kind of look at carefully, all right? Great Javelin. Brilliant. Absolute succulence, right? Why are you spinning? I think I know why you're spinning, but I don't care. You spin around this way because like, oh, I'm going to help my Cassidy. No. Unless you're sure that your Cassidy's like 1 HP and he's dead. If you don't, but no, because let me show you what happens. Now, you should not be fortifying here. You should be Javelin spinning here. Because that's even better than fortify. Because it completely denies the follow-up, completely denies this jab thing, and it does a little bit of damage. So we would Javelin spin now, we'd knock them back, and then we would fortify. In fact, the reason your Mercy dies here is, yes, she's dense, but the reason she dies here is because this Junker Queen is allowed to walk on top of her because you didn't Javelin spin. Now, I'm going to be hindsight coaching here a little bit. Like, obviously, the Mercy dies because she's an idiot. However, if you had properly cycled your cooldowns here, this wouldn't be a concern at all. And then right now, you would still have your Fortify if you need it. But you don't have your Fortify. You have your Javelin spin. Okay. I will also say as well, so one of the issues, let me actually, this might be even more important than some of the cooldown cycling that we're talking about. One of the issues with not being in comms is that you don't always know exactly where people are fighting. Now, I'm not always saying that they're going to be able to communicate where they're fighting, but this is really important. Let me bring this up. So, do you see your positioning right now? Watch this. You see the problem? You see the potential problem here? Your Torbjorn and your Ana are not built to fight in there. They could, but they're not built for it. You guys, like, we could even break down big picture while you're playing poke because you have a mercy pocket. No, don't worry about that. Like I don't care what heroes that you're playing. Okay. I don't care what heroes that you're playing. However, you need to at least have a general idea of where they're positioned right now. Like, I don't care if you're playing a Lucio comp and your Lucio decides that he wants to play spam Lucio. If your Lucio comp is playing out here, then you need to be playing around that. So let me ask you this question. If you're there positioned up there, are you really fighting for this room right here anymore? Does this make any sense? Can your Ana or Torb assist you in this room? The answer is no, they cannot. So then you need to be able to make the adjustment positionally and then rotate accordingly. Now, what I want you to do is, if you're watching this, which you should be, where should you be playing instead? So let's say that you roll out here, you roll out high ground, and you take the time before you push to turn around, and you see they're on high ground. So then where should you play? I'll give you 5 seconds. Anybody in chat? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, because I'm nice and because I understand the ramifications of stream delay, the big stick. Yeah, sure. I mean, even just simply hold here, but hold outside, so they have to walk into your Cassidy's or your Torbjorns or on a sidelines. Exactly. So you even if you did cooldown trade this one well, it still was not the optimal position, because you are their comp is they're all here, right? Your comp is not all here. Your Torbjorn on. I mean, look at your poor Torbjorn. He's like, oh, okay. I guess the fight's over. You know, nice javelin. You know, what's funny is you're like, oh shoot, I'm dead, right? No, you're not, because you actually are now starting to fight around where your team is looking to fight. Grippy Socks, check your DMs on Discord, please. Thank you. Ah! Like even here, don't, unless you're like 100% certain that you're just gonna clean up the 1v1, smoke it up, you know, look at what's happening here. And obviously, like, as a main tank, your positioning is such that you're rarely gonna have a full awareness of what your team is doing mid-fight, but there is no excuse for you not to know what is happening previous to the fight. Circumcised pole, you mean? Okay. You're dead. Oh! Nice. You're not dead. Well done. But you shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Okay, yeah, you're dead. Okay, so this is the problem with not having communication on, is you need to have the awareness. However, that's no excuse for it, right? And I'm gonna be real with y'all. People that have comms on usually really call like where they're positioned anyway, so not like it matters that much, but yeah. What is this? Nice. I feel like we're in fast motion here. Yeah, there we go. I was like... Yeah, this seems reasonable. Like, you're actually fighting around where your team is fighting, so you don't have to be on top of them, right? Like, that's not the idea, but like, you have to be fighting in the same position where they can actually help. Your Cassie just gets his head blown off. Again, I just don't love the fortify. I think javelin there is whatever. I just like, I think you're down your Cassie, right? You need to be waiting for res, so just why not wait a second? So you don't have your fortify now, so you really need to be backing off. Yeah, we're just kind of feeding a little bit. Okay. So I don't know how to else put that fight out of you were down 1 and then you decided to keep going in and you used all your cooldowns and then just died. Fortify doesn't cleanse Junker Queen. I don't think Fortify cleanses at all. Outside of Junkrat Trap, maybe? I think that's the only thing it technically cleanses. This fight's a mess. This is a mess. So you miss your javelin on the Kiriko. You go to point. You spin on point. Didn't quite hit it. She doesn't have spin, so maybe it works. Oh, you still got it. You still got it. Spin her away. Nice. Okay, that was unfortunate, but it was reasonable. This fight has been quite a mess, so I'm not going to give you too much of a... You can walk out of grab. Oh, yeah, sure. You can technically cleanse grab as well. In slows, yeah. I mean, it doesn't... It only... You can't fortify out of shatter, though. You can only technically... You can fortify out of flux, yeah, that's true. Okay, I want to stay on the Orisa train if there's anything else here, because I actually think Orisa was the best tank versus their composition. You're just not hitting a lot of your cooldowns, and you're not playing very well with your team. Is this just Orisa? Maybe that's all the Orisa. Yeah, so for the Orisa takeaway, I think you need to do a better job playing cover. I think you need to do a better job paying attention to where your team is set up. And then I also think you need to understand your cooldowns a little bit better. So... For example, if we go back again to like, let's even look at the second fight here. Like right here, okay, so bit of a mess, right? We go top, we hit the javelin. You're down one. When you commit your fortify, you really, really have to make sure that this fortify is going to get value. Either it's used to keep myself alive or I'm getting good pressure out of it. And then as soon as the fortify is done, AKA right now, you can't be here. Even as a fortify is ending, you already need to be disengaging unless they're all like 1 HP, right? You need to be careful of that. So you need to understand if you commit your fortify, it's a very serious committal, and that when you don't have it, you have to play completely differently. If that makes sense, okay? So I would be your more Orisa micro thing, and then the more big picture thing would be aware of where your team is set up and cover usage, okay? Now, the reason why I'm trying to give you an Orisa micro tip is because I have a feeling that some of the issues that you had with Orisa are going to represent themselves on your other tank heroes as well. So let's find out. Oh my goodness gracious. I apologize for that. That's the replay code viewer being just absolutely lovely. I actually think Winston will be pretty hard versus their composition. Okay, good. We're going to survive this easily and then be able to jump out if we need to. Oh, let's close! Nice. Kiriko. Very nice. Okay, get on that Kiriko, get on that Kiriko, get on that Kiriko. Oh my goodness gracious, she gets out. Okay. Don't want that. We don't want that matchup. Yep. The reason why we start on high is so that we have an easier access to the targets that we want to go for, aka Sojourns and Kirikos, and we can avoid heroes that we don't want to be matching, which is like the Tracers and the Junker Queens. You need to get back up top. You need to get back up top. You do not want to be dealing with that Junker Queen. Okay, back up top. Now, remember how we talked about Fortify? Like how you need to understand exactly how you need to play when you don't have Fortify? That exact same logic applies to Monkey as well. In fact, honestly, a lot of the concepts I talk about with Tank or Nut are just universal concepts. Like, you were talking about the most powerful, arguably, tank cooldown in the games, cooldowns in the game, excuse me, with Fortify and Bubble, and yet here we are without Bubble. And I don't know if you intended to do this, but this is really, truly bad. Respectfully, like you can't even look here. You need to be avoiding damage, like looking away, hiding behind cover, play really slow, because this is just really bad. Like you're again ending up on the Junker Queen. I think she hits you with a knife. She does, but it's like the mistake that leads up to that is a problem. Do you see that? Now it's like, okay, it's too late, right? But the mistake is here. Don't let them chip your damage. They're not going in right now. You're not going in. You're not going in. You're hiding. You're waiting. You wait till they walk forward until you have your bubble. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. This forces you into a 1v1ing a Junker Queen without your bubble. It's like the worst of every world, and you're dead. Not good. Really frustrating. Instant Kiriko poison. Locky with the Patreon secret knowledge. Okay, so do we have any more Winston, or is it just Ramattra? It looks like it's going to be just Ramattra. So obviously not a lot to take from that in terms of Winston specifically, but definitely major issues with when we don't have a cooldown, whether it's Orisa or Winston. We tend to behave the exact same. Not the exact same, but there's not enough of a respect for the enemy team when we don't have bubble. Okay? What is your elo? Never heard of you? I never heard of you either. What is your elo? So just in case you haven't seen this, I think it's probably worth streaming this. We talk about tanks in Overwatch, right? You talk about Sigma. Is Sigma cooldown reliant? Yes. When Sigma has shift and rock, he's this strong. When Diva has cooldowns frequently, so Diva does this, right? Like she gets her cooldowns really fast, right? I think there was a very inappropriate meme that was shared in the Overwatch Twitter subset when I did a drawing very similar to this. But Winston and Orisa are a little bit different. Like Winston is very weak. He gets bubble very strong, and then he's very weak again. And you need to kind of play to these strengths. Like you're playing to these spikes, and then when you're on the downside, like here, you need to be playing very cautious, very careful. And while Orisa does have like Javelin spin on relatively low cooldowns, you still have spikes around your Fortify. And when you don't have Fortify, you can still do more than a Winston, but you're playing significantly more different. So be very careful. Be very careful. And I think that's the kind of adjustment from your playstyle with really all the tanks that you need to make. Now, here's the thing. When I say that, being more Winston and Orisa, that's definitely accurate. But the same thing applies to Ramattra as well. You've got your E, you've got your shield. Okay. You've got your Nemesis form. Okay. You don't... You see? It's different. It's different. I don't know what this hand motion was, but that was something. But okay, let's check out a Ramattra. We're gonna be looking for intentional cooldowns. So making sure that you're actually just, again, not just using the cooldown for the sake of the cooldown, but really truly like thinking about what is a cooldown used for. Because especially with your E, there is an unbelievable amount of nuance with how the cooldown is used. So let's check it out. Why? What are you blocking here? A couple of Kiriko shots? You have a corner right next to you. Your healers can... There's nothing actually happening right now. Right? Now, if you were a Sigma, I would still be mad. No, but if you're a Sigma, it would be like, okay, it's whatever. But this is a 13-second cooldown investment. You're going to tell me that there's nothing in the next 13 seconds that's not going to be more relevant to shield for you, for the enemy team? I don't know. Surely, right? Surely. And in your E, right? You're telling me that there's nothing in the next 13 seconds that you couldn't E and get more value out of. Let's find out. So I do like the tank pressure right here. I think if you could turn around and give some awareness to the Tracer or the Sojourner, I think that would be good too. Like obviously these targets are harder to hit, especially with the way your gun works. It's an awkward projectile, but any sort of damage in this target maybe dies, right? Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Do you see this Junker Queen? Do you want your shield? Do you want your E? Yes, you do. You throw your shield right on top of yourself. You throw your E right on top of yourself. Slows the Tracer, slows the Junker Queen. Then you pop your Nemesis form. You have a really good shot to win this cooldown trait pretty heavily and maybe get a kill. But you don't have it. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to pop your Nemesis form, but you're going to have to back off because you don't have either of your most important cooldowns. And let's see what happens from there. Yep. Sayonara. And I'll say one other little micro thing for Ramattra. Look at your HP. When you have dipped to this point in time, you need to be blocking. You need to be blocking because you need to get your HP back to a point where you have armor, which might mean 450, 500, whatever. You don't have nothing to push punch right now. You're even missing your punches. You need to block, let yourself get healed back up, and then go for aggression. If you're just trading on the enemy tank line with punches and she's just shooting you and shooting you and shooting you, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Okay, let's keep going. Uh-oh, hopping right out of spawn. Hey, an E that actually makes a little bit of sense. Now, it doesn't actually get anything, but I perfectly understand the reasoning behind this E. You think they're going to disengage out, you want to slow the disengage. It doesn't end up working out that way, but at least there's like, we had some wheels turning, right? Shield so that you can walk out a little bit closer. Seems okay. Okay. Careful, careful. Nice. There's your E, there's your shield. Oh, we're just a little slow. Just a little bit slow and a little bit of a lack of cover. Just a little bit of a lack of respect. Your Ana was resident, your Mercy was resident your Ana, so you didn't have as much healing as you thought that you had. And then that's going to cost us this fight. That sucks. Okay, we're out. Out. You're just using your cooldown. Run. You're staggered. You're staggering. Run. Okay. Okay, we need to do better with this. We need to do better. When it was the very similar thing what happened when we were on Orisa, with the fights lost, you were out. You were out. If they overextend to try and kill you, maybe you can punch them and get the trade, but you are not respecting that enough. You continue, and this is a stagger. You do manage to get lucky and get the tracer, but you were the last person to die. You should have either died 5, 6, 7 seconds ago by just inting in, or you could have inted out, right? Instead, you just inted. Okay? For lack of a better term. Okay? So, let's see what we got. Do you see damage coming in? Did you see that this was a Sojourn and thought, oh no, that Sojourn's gonna melt me, I need to put my shield. No, you just use your shield. And the ironic thing here is that it probably would have been better for you to poke this out a little bit, and you probably were going to need to shield more versus the Junker Queen than you will versus the Sojourn in this given instance. Knew that was coming. You're not even trying to aim this anymore. A bit of a minor thing as well, a little bit of a micro. So I understand that you don't love playing versus Junker Queen, in your non-Nemesis form, but you're also not very good at shooting her. You generally want to have that Nemesis form for going for backline. So probably just slow her and shoot her if you get healing, and then Nemesis form if you need to, and just wait for your team so that you can walk onto the enemy backline with Nemesis. That's what we want to be going for at some point. Okay? Okay, get her, nice. You can throw that E down, first target you see. Don't see anybody, we don't use it. Okay. We got into the back line with our ultimate, so, and Plat, GG. It's over. If you want to throw your E up, be my guest, it's not gonna matter. You're gonna have it by the time the fight starts. Okay, are we gonna have that by the time the fight starts? I'm not so sure. Oh! No! Okay, listen. Listen. This is too close to the fight, I think. And then this is, oh dear. I would go as far to like turn the corner, immediately cancel it. Immediately cancel it so you can get the cooldown and so you can come back again. Because the problem is they're gonna walk around this corner and you're not gonna have it. Okay, we did get our shield back in time, and we didn't end up getting punished from the Nemesis. Okay, we got lucky. Nice. It's the same kind of thing though. Like you could see that like you just don't do a lot of damage. Like I think it was reasonable to use your Nemesis form if. Please shut up, Ramattra. It was reasonable for you to use your Nemesis form here to keep yourself alive, but obviously you could see that like punching tanks just oftentimes isn't the biggest return on investment. This hero has way too much nuance. So like it would have been better here if you just simply held the corner and shot, and then if they push into you and you have to use your Nemesis form, that's fine. Or if you want to dive backline, you could push into them with your Nemesis form. But again, you're going to go for backline more. Okay. I like this. We don't have a Nemesis form. We don't even have our E yet, so we actually give up a little bit of space. That's what we were missing with Orisa. Shield there. I could see that being some significant damage. Who are you E-ing there? Do you even know? You saw red. You press the button. Nobody's there. And in fact, the E here would probably save your Ana's life, but you don't have it. Now, I'm being a little bit facetious because I actually don't think it would have saved your Ana's life, but you get my point. You really, I mean, a lot of this is because I think tanks in Overwatch 2 just tend to just use cooldowns because they don't fully understand like the power of those cooldowns if used properly. I will also cut you some slack because this is a new hero. There's not a lot of good information out there. There's not a lot of precedent for how to play this hero, but we have to be better than this. There just isn't any rhyme or reason behind many of the cooldowns that we're using here. That was rhyme or reason. Did you see that? There was rhyme or reason behind that shield and E, and a forced Suzu and a forced TP. The fight's lost. This game's over. It's over. You've lost the game. There's been too many bad decisions made up to this point, but at the very least, get some good practice out of it. That was good. And you know it's good because your shield broke. Right? Not every shield's going to get value by breaking, but if your shield is taking literally no damage every time you use it, there's something wrong with your shielding, or how you're shielding, or for you, more importantly, when you're shielding. So, main takeaways for me is how you're playing on Orisa and Winston when you don't have your cooldowns. And then with Ramattra, shockingly, your E usage and shield usage just feels like you're just using it to use it. And even the same goes with your Nemesis form. I think this is a really, really common problem. Every Ramattra that I've coached has had this issue. Every single one, all the way up to Grandmaster. Yeah, I'm considering making a basic Ramattra guide because the bar has been set really, really low. So I'm thinking we need to go to that. Do you have any questions? So cover usage, awareness of where your team is positioned. Those are the two things that apply to all your tank heroes. Specifically, Orisa and Winston playing differently when you have your fortify in your bubble and when you don't. Okay, and then for Ramattra specifically, putting more thought into, is there damage coming in? Are there cooldowns I need to be blocking? Is this E going to get any value? And if the answer is you're not sure, it's okay to not use them because there's such long cooldowns, you will almost certainly find an opportunity within the next several seconds. Do you have any questions? No questions? I got a minute or so. I know we talked about a lot. Obviously, 3 heroes in 1 Kothron, and there's a lot to process here. Chat, do you have any questions? Because that's the nice thing about gameplay reviews, is that we can open up the floor to anybody who might have questions, because maybe their questions will be something that will be good to kind of elaborate on. Any ideas of what those 3 tanks to focus on? No, I think it's going to be completely up to you about which tanks that you enjoy the most. I think Orisa, Ramattra, the only thing I will say, maybe Orisa and Ramattra fill similar niches in terms of being like your brawl tank, but I don't think it's enough of an issue that I would put a lot of priority into it. It would be more important, especially as a Plat player, to focus on the heroes that you enjoy. And that's always the answer whenever I'm asked that question. Just focus on the ones that you enjoy the most. When you do your grinding, do you like Orisa? Do you like whatever more? Suggestions for a good tank pool? Zarya, Ramattra, Diva. It's the same thing as DPS pool. Range, brawl, mobility. If you can check 2 out of those 3 boxes, you're good to go. Although I would say that only matters really truly when you're in the higher ranks. If you're like gold, you could play a Ryan and a Ramattra and you're fine. It's fine. How do you access backline as Ram without a Lucio if their backline is playing far back? You don't. If their backline is playing so far back that they can't get, then they're not likely getting as much value. So then you can focus on winning the tank trade that will force the backline to walk up to where you can actually punish them. Like backline playing super safe for most backliners means that they're not getting as much value, and so that you will have the opportunity to win the tank trade by just using your cooldowns really smart, using your shield to split resources, using your E to slow the tank out in the open and get more damage on him or her. I think that's the way you have to look at it. You need to force that backline to walk up so that you can punish them. It's a great question though. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next session. Can you try shielding the supports as they? Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go into our next session here. If you have any questions, Kong, I'll send you the post-coaching checklist. If I don't, yell at me. And I'll also talk to you about the replay code rule as well. And I will also type up your focuses. So actually, let's do that right now. So Ram, Orisa, Winston, play generally important to play safer without fortify bubble. Ramattra, put thought focus into your ease. Nemesis, mostly just ease and shield. And then general, cover usage and awareness of teammates' positions pre-fight. I'm trying to do a better job of writing out the actual goals. I think it's easier to remember. And then the replay code rule, conk, is just basically if at any time you have a game where you want to get a little bit more feedback, shoot me the replay code with a couple of timestamps of fights that you want to look at, and I'll look at them and I'll send you some written feedback within a couple days. So just a little bit of extra follow-up. Hey, Pear. I know some Rams just usually trade E with each other when it would be a lot more valuable zoning a DPS or support. Yeah, it depends. It depends. Okay, let's go into our next session. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? Oh,
yes.
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm getting your form pulled up here. Do you have a code for me?
I do.
All right, shoot it.
8 Z as in zebra.
Okay.
B as in boy.
Yeah.
P.
Yeah.
As in Peter. T.
T. Okay.
X.
X. Okay. Wait, I think I messed. No way I messed that up. No way I messed it up. I think I messed it up. I'm the legitimate worst. Okay. 8 Z P B.
No, B and then P.
B 8 Z B P T X.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my chat just said I hit cancel. Of all the mistakes to make, I hit cancel. All right, man, this is a new low, and that's saying something with me. Okay, so who are you? The real aunt? Or I'm Naza?
Yeah, the real aunt.
The real aunt. Okay, great name. All right, let's get your form pulled up here really quick here. Okay, so what got you interested in coaching? Let's just start off with that.
I just found out about you because I watch Skiesti's stream, and you were collaborating with her.
Yeah.
And it was just like you were very thoughtful when you were doing the VOD review on the gold player. So I just was like, when I get paid, I'm gonna try it out, see how it works for me.
Sure.
And I literally just cannot climb out of Plat.
Okay. Sounds good.
To save my life.
So Plat, is this just Mercy for this VOD?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, sounds good.
Sometimes I do Kiriko, but I don't think I did it in this game.
Okay, VOD, Plat, Mercy. Okay, let's look through your form here. So you want to get out of Plat as Mercy. All right,
basically.
All right. Sounds good here. Okay, break me down your Overwatch history. It's always my favorite and most important question. When did you start playing? How long have you been playing Mercy? What got you interested in Mercy? What ranks did you hit in Overwatch 1? What do you think of Overwatch 2? You know, what's your favorite colors? Like literally everything. You know, give me the breakdown.
Okay. So I started playing Overwatch June 2022. Just literally, yeah, very new. Yeah. Just because my boyfriend was like, you need to play this game, because I wasn't into games. This is my first FPS basically. And he was like, since this is like your first game, like you should either play Moira or Mercy. And so I just started playing Mercy, and then just kind of never stopped. But I've been trying a little bit of Kiriko and Anna now that I'm more comfortable. And when I first started, I was bronze.
Well, everybody is bronze, or should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And then after and then in Overwatch 1, like I think the highest I got was gold. And then when Overwatch 2 started, I just went up to Plat and then just couldn't get out. And
okay. What do you think of Overwatch 2, by the way? Well, first off, what do you think of Overwatch? Like it being your first person shooter and all that.
I think it's really interesting. It kind of sucks though, like because it's hard to find anything else like it.
Mm-hmm.
So like looking at any other game, it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of boring, you know. So
It sets your expectations too high. Well, that's a good problem, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
Overwatch 2 is pretty good. I mean, I'm a Mercy main, so sometimes those flashbacks to the double tanks is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Seem-
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. More
but
bodies to get in the way. Yeah. Fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
So
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. What was it about Mercy that appealed to you? There's some things about Mercy that appeal to me, but I want to know what appeals to you.
it's probably her movement, and um, and just kind of like being the supporter, like
Yeah.
it's not really on you, it is
Mm-hmm.
on you, but like you're supporting other people to get the play of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nice to see someone having the play of the game and I'm kind of in the background,
Sure.
boosting them.
Sure.
So
Sure. Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Keep looking through your form here. Your short-term and long-term goals. Short-term, fewer deaths. Long-term, get into diamond. That's a great way of structuring it. You have a first step as to what you need to do to get to your long-term, right?
Yeah.
Fewer deaths. Okay, so we need to find out what those deaths are occurring from and what we need to be practicing to prevent those from happening in the future. And Mercy is tough. I don't know if you've heard me talk about Mercy before, but one of the things, well, obviously with SKSD, but I think there's a specific analogy that I love to whip out because I'm old, insufferable, and I have the same jokes to tell over and over again, which is essentially with Mercy, there's a lot of heroes that do this, okay? I don't know if you even saw the tank review where we talk about like Orisa and Winston, right? Where their value is dependent on their cooldowns, and they have opportunities where they just have so much impact on the fight. When they have bubble, Tracer's got recall. There's just so much that they can do with that, right? Even their ultimates, right, are these big high risk, high rewards. And then you've got Mercy, and Mercy is just the outlier because Mercy does a lot of this. Now, obviously, you can have a lot of impact with Res. That's probably the worst color I could have chosen, but it is what it is. But you see, like, there's just not a lot of spikes here. But the reason why that's important, as opposed to, like, let's say a tank character or anything else, is your carrying is through your consistency. We talk about your movement. We talk about your positioning. We talk about your decision making when it comes to your guardian angel. We talk about your valk usage. We talk about when you're healing, when you're damage boosting, and then the big one that people don't talk about, who you're damage boosting. At what point in time should you be damage boosting this person and when should you not be? Your job to carry as Mercy is by making those decisions consistently correct over and over and over and over again. The way you work with Mercy is if you are not making good decisions with your positioning, with your pocket a priority, then you eventually make so many bad decisions in the course of a fight that your teammates can't win it. You can't just like snap your fingers and be like, I'm going to carry because I hit a crazy sleep dart, right? You don't have that option. You have to start doing the right things with Mercy immediately as the fight starts and continue to do the good things. And if you mess up, you've dug a hole, you can't get out, it's over. Now you might pull out the Valk and maybe clutch it out, but your clutch value with the Mercy is just almost never there. It's almost always through your ability to be consistently making good decisions, and that is a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, there's not a lot of like I guess there's not a lot of pressure on you. That being, but you also have to make sure that you are doing those good things consistently, because if you do dig a hole, there's no way to get out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. No.
All right, let's keep looking through your form. Break me down your training schedule right now. How often do you play per day? How consistently do you play per day? Do you play other? You talked a little bit about your Kiriko. How often do you play Kiriko? Do you play any other heroes besides that? Just fill me in.
Yeah. So I play every day. And it's, I don't know, maybe 4 hours a day, maybe 5.
Okay.
Just depends whether I'm working that day or not.
Right.
And I pick Kiriko when there's another Mercy main on the team, just because I don't want to, I don't know, be selfish, I guess. And sometimes, some people only one trick, and I don't want, I want to be able to have both supports be relatively good, right?
Okay.
Or if we have like a Zen or a Lucio on the team, like it's not worth dying so many times because I'm trying to heal the tank and heal everybody else and just kind of heal botting. So I just pick Kiriko.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll pick Anna. Sometimes if there's a Ryan.
Okay.
But
Okay.
not really. My win percentage on Anna is like really bad.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a really important question for you, and I want you to answer as honestly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Why do you pick Kiriko? Why not Moira? Why not Ana? Why not Baptiste?
So sometimes I will pick Moira.
Right.
But with Moira, I like to tunnel vision and like just do the TikTok. I'm gonna go kill these people.
Mm-hmm.
And with Kiriko, like it's just so much easier for me to heal bot because it's so much harder to hit the kunai. You know.
Do you
So
enjoy
it's kind of
Kiriko,
like,
or is it more like, oh, I play Kiriko because my Mercy got taken? I know why, but
yeah.
do you enjoy Kiriko more than Ana? Do you enjoy Kiriko more than Bap? Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I enjoy Kiriko more than both of Ana and Bap, only because like I just feel like I'm useless using both of those characters. Like I feel like I'm providing something to the team if I'm Kiriko.
Okay. Let me ask you. So you have a very helper, supportive mindset, and you're always like, whether you're giving up Mercy if somebody else wants to play Mercy, or I don't want to play Ana and Bat because I can help my team more with Kiriko, and that's even like how you described you enjoying Mercy, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, I don't want you to avoid a new experience or a hero that you enjoy potentially more because you're scared you're not going to be playing it well. Let me give you an example. Mercy, the reason why Mercy is tough is very similar to like how, let me think of a good example, like a Junkrat or even like a Wrecking Ball is tough because a lot of the skill sets that make those heroes strong don't carry over to other heroes as well.
Right.
The problem with that is you don't have to one-trick Mercy. I know people that can play both Ana and Mercy very well. But the problem is once you go down that path, you're like, well, I don't have good mechanics, therefore I can never play Ana or Bap. Let me ask you a question. If your mechanics weren't bad, if they were okay, would you enjoy Ana more than Kiriko? And I don't think you know the answer to that question. Do you?
I mean, I feel like I would enjoy Ana more. I've seen my friends play Ana, and they look like they have fun with her.
Okay.
I just can't hit my sleeps, or
she's hard.
My scope accuracy is like trash. So.
Right. And see, that's my concern because to me, it's all about like the long run. Obviously, we're talking about getting you out of diamond. Okay, but then what? We want you to have fun, right? We want you to have fun. And if you're playing Kiriko because you really enjoy Kiriko because the hero is fun to you, that's great. But if you're playing Kiriko more because it's enjoyable for you to not be a hindrance, that's like I don't love that mindset, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's very short-sighted, and it's also it's too, I don't say it's too humble. You're being too much of a coward, respectfully.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I don't mind.
Let me be honest with you. If you wanted to, you could one-trick Widowmaker to GM. You could, especially with the amount of hours that you're playing. You could. You need to be honest with yourself, and you say that you're playing 4 or 5 hours a day on average. You could one-trick right now. You could start your path to one-trick Widowmaker to GM, and you would get there. I would do all but promise you, assuming there's no other life or mental issues that come up, you could do it. Right? There's nothing wrong with you that means that you cannot aim. It is about how you choose to put in your time. Now, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to discourage you from playing Mercy Kiriko. You like Mercy. You're good at Mercy. If Mercy is what you enjoy. But what I do want you to be careful about is discouraging yourself from trying something because you just don't think you're going to be that good at it. Okay. So I don't know what the answer is here. I don't know if the answer is, screw it. Mercy Kiriko is still fun. Let's stick with it. Let's not worry about it. I don't know if you experiment more with Ana and decide, man, I would like to get to know this hero better. And you start grinding your Ana and we actually get Ana to a halfway decent spot. Now we're playing Mercy Ana. I don't know what the solution is, but I just want to make sure that when you're making decisions like these, you're making them because you want to do it, not because you feel like you should do it. You're playing a video game. Right. You do what you want to do, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, we'll focus on Mercy for here, but I hope I just plant a little seed there for you to think on it more. Because if you wanted to be good at Ana, if you wanted to climb the diamond with Ana Mercy or Bat Mercy or heck Zen Mercy, you could do it. You could absolutely do it. And obviously, if you do make that decision or something like that, or decide not to, just shoot me a message. Just shoot me a message, and I'm not gonna give you some advice about how to get started on that. Okay. Anyway, long story short, let's focus on Mercy for right now. What do you hope to get out of the session? See what I need to look for when watching my past matches. Okay, so do you VOD review yourself, or is that just something you put in the... Okay, fill me in on that.
I just started because I started watching your streams. And so I started watching my reviews after like almost every game.
Goodness gracious.
And then I was
That's crazy. After every single game?
Yeah, like I started to do that. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
That's
but
okay. I'm impressed first.
I was just trying to see what I was doing right with the games that we were winning, you know, and trying to be more consistent. And it was working. Sometimes I would go on, you know, L streaks, which was more informative when I was rewatching it, just to see like, why did I res there? Like that was stupid. Like, you know, like sometimes I'd res and everybody on the team's just dead, and I'm resing a healer, and now we both died, you know. So, it's been informative, and I guess.
Okay, just do that while you're in queue.
No, I can't because queue's too fast. I just take the time and review it really quick. Okay. Because I do play for a long amount of time.
What's really quick for you? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 15?
No, about like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. What when you said you were looking for things that you do well, what did you find that you were doing well?
Like I was looking specifically like at my positioning and like my reses. Just because like I am new to the game and I was in bronze for a little bit, so working on positioning and my resurrections have been kind of a big thing. Yep. Just because bronze is just, you know, kind of a hellscape. You can do really whatever you want as Mercy as long as you can move fast. Right. So.
Okay. Makes sense.
Trying to get out of that. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's kind of like what you said, things that you were not doing well. You're trying to work at those things specifically, at least recently.
Yeah, and like the things I was doing well, like working on, you know, like I was like, oh, my positioning's really good right there. Like I wasn't just flying for no reason, you know, or I left the res there, you know, like I didn't res it even though it was off cooldown. Okay. So.
Makes sense. Okay, so I would probably recommend you could probably scale back some of that a little bit. I think here's let me give you like the perfect situation. So you're playing Mercy, you don't need to warm up. If you want to play a little bit of Kiriko and Mercy, or if we do make that transition elsewhere, I would probably spend. So this is what I would say optimally for you right now. Okay, let's do 10 to 15 minutes, maybe. 10 to 15 minutes of VOD review before you even get started, before you even warm up. 10 to 15 minutes of VOD review. Pick a match from yesterday, give yourself some goals to work on, see how you're doing at some of the things that I give you from today. Okay? Then I do want you to warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know if there's any Mercy codes, but if there are, find them. That's your job. Or go into Vaxta Arcade, do an arcade deathmatch game and beat the crap out of Kiriko. I don't care if you go 4-16, play Kiriko. All right. Okay. It starts now. That's maybe how we can build some confidence with that. All right. Because you need to hit kunai if you want to play Kiriko well. You know, you can't just heal bot. Then go into your ranks, and you can take the time to VOD review your matches. But I don't want it between every game. I would say between every 3 or 4 games. And I also want you to make sure that you're actually taking a few minutes of rest between each game. Maybe even just while you're in queue, just get up, walk around, get some water, stretch your legs, whatever. Okay? And then I want you to be very attentive, and this is something that maybe you can fill me in right now on. Very attentive to how much energy and focus that you're able to give in after a few hours. Because you're talking about longer sessions. Do you feel like your focus dips, or are you able to maintain focus throughout the duration of your play sessions?
I guess it depends on the day. Like if I'm working that day, then I get on Overwatch. Like if it's a longer session, like I dip and I start losing games. Usually when I get off is when I lose 4 games in a row or something like that. So I don't go to bed like pissed off, you know. But sometimes like on the weekends, like I'll play more than 4 or 5 hours. And then it'll start to dip. And I'll still play sometimes, even though I start to dip, or like I'll just like log into mystery heroes just to like get a feel for every hero, you know, and just kind of like not care.
You know what's funny is that's 10 times more productive than you continuing to queue ranked at that point. Because then when you're queuing into Mystery Heroes, you're just screwing around,
Right. Yeah.
So that's what we want to do. Like a lot of people come to me like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to play Overwatch 3, 4." No, you just shift what you're playing it for, right? Are you playing with more of an improvement emphasis, or are you playing it more for fun? And so for you, it's like I want you to do your best to be really attentive to those first 2 or 3 hours, really give it your all, and then after that 3-hour mark, you're just not going to be able to play as well as you could. So don't try.
Right.
Just play for fun. If that means continuing to queue ranked but just chilling, okay. If that means going into quick play Mystery Heroes, if that means okay. If that means picking up Widowmaker, I go and placing in low silver, whatever. Just have fun. Have fun. Don't feel like okay, 3 hours are in. I need to put in those extra 2 hours because that's going to make all the difference. That is a load of crap. The first 3 hours you need to be focused so hard, and then after that, VOD reviewing, taking breaks, and then after that, it's totally up to you. Your call. Make sense? Okay, so you can play for longer, but just you're playing for different reasons. That's mostly it with training. Obviously, training a little bit every day whenever it's possible, but you're playing more than enough to get out of Plat if you're training with goals, if you're training with focus, and just obviously, like you said, I stop after 4 losses in a row. Well, if you've been playing for 5 hours... an ounce of prevention, what I'm saying? Like you probably could have known that was going to come at some point in time. So stop playing to win at that point in time.
Right.
And if you're playing for fun, the losses don't matter at all. And honestly, if you're playing to improve, the losses don't matter either. But like, if you're like, I'm not playing as well, 6 games after you stop giving it your all, you're a little late. Okay. Sleep looks good. Okay. Good for you. I love seeing 8 to 9. That just makes me so happy. I can't function under 8 personally. So I just curse everybody else with that knowledge.
I can't fuck either. So.
Yeah. Good. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? Last question here: mentality and dumb mistakes. I assume we talked a little bit about the dumb mistakes, like the res thing that you brought up, and that you've been focusing on that. Is there anything else you want to elaborate on with the dumb mistakes?
No. I mean, it's just like sometimes I'll just GA and then jump over the person I'm GAing to right into the middle of the fight, and you're just like, why did I do that?
Right.
Or like just hitting res just right when I see a bot, like a soul, stupid.
Here's a fun little mental exercise, something to chew on. When you play, when you're no longer focused, you stop thinking about decisions like that, right? So like let's say hour 4. But your brain, what you're doing is you start reinforcing behaviors that that you shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, when you continue to play as if you're trying to improve, after the point in time when you have the focus to try and improve, you're actually getting negative practice.
Right.
Because you're reinforcing a way to play that you don't want to practice like that. You're not focused at all, but you're just building the habit of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
So don't reinforce it. Cut it right there. Or just play and play when you just don't really care. Okay. And then mentality. Elaborate on that one for me, please.
It's just like sometimes, I guess it's more like, I guess, toxicity. Sometimes like
you're female, so you have the perma debuff. Even in a game like Overwatch, it's honestly like it makes me pretty angry. So I can imagine how it feels for you. So that sucks. Continue.
Well, yeah, and like being a Mercy main and a female, it's just I work right into that stereotype, so I get a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like
how do you cope with it?
I just sometimes I'll just mute them. But like I do like to be in voice chat sometimes, like if there's nobody else, and kind of like call out because I am not
sure,
because I do have a better like lay of the land basically.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's hard, especially once they hear like I'm a female,
mm-hmm.
like it just kind of it gets bad sometimes. So
Okay.
So I'll just sometimes mute it and be like, well, I guess maybe if we lose this game, like at least they're losing SR too, like
yeah, fair enough. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
You're good. And I don't know, and then or sometimes I'll just like queue into a game and just be like, wow, like because I'm used to like duoing, but I haven't been doing duoing for like I don't know a couple months now. So like I'm like this is just I just feel like I'm gonna lose this game just because like I'm not duoing, like thinking I need a crutch when I don't, you know?
Right.
So,
Well, the game's going to balance around the duo anyway.
right.
If you pulled up the win rate, it would be the exact same, you know? And if anything, maybe with a duo, there's more pressure. Maybe because you're duoing, there's more of an emphasis of, oh, I have to help this person, even though maybe that's not the best person to assist at that point in time. So, yeah, okay. Have some confidence in yourself, you know? I know it's easier said than done. Do you feel like you lack confidence outside of the duo? Because we haven't really talked about that, but that's an interesting point.
Outside of Overwatch?
Outside of, well, sure, why not?
I mean, no. I feel like I'm a pretty like confident person. Like,
Perfect.
if it's something I don't know, like I think what I've been since I am like a newer player, I feel like it's just because I don't 100% know everything, you know. So I feel like even outside of Overwatch, if I don't know something, like I'm not gonna feel as confident as, you know, maybe I should about something, you know. So it's just, I feel like it's just being a new player and just being a Mercy main, like it's kind of like I get a lot of hate, you know. I get a lot of DMs and stuff like of people just like telling me to go kill myself, you know, and or go do the dishes.
Don't accept. Are you talking about match chat or friend requests?
Oh, it's just like whispers or like
never accept the friend requests. Never.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't. But or it'll be match chat, you know. And I'll report
of course,
them.
of course.
Yeah. You know, so
that's rough.
Like,
that's rough. And like I can offer you advice and tips and things like that, but ultimately, like I've been in circumstances like this. Like I have that one horror story where people are like, "Is this the real Spilo?" And they're like, "No way," because the real Spilo wouldn't be feeding this actively. I'm like, "Oh man, you know, that cut to the quick." But like, you know, I've obviously never like that killed me, and I like and that was like baby stuff compared to what you're dealing with. So I don't really know. You know, I can't relate, to be honest with you. I can empathize, but I guess I can't sympathize. So you know,
I just report them, and hopefully they get banned one day.
Yeah,
so.
Hopefully. And you know, the type of person to type or do something like that doesn't sound like a very happy or well-adjusted person anyway. So in a way, you can almost there's not a lot you could do for a person like that, but it does give you a sense of like, I don't know, like I guess like context, you know. It kind of puts things of like, man, it almost feels like, oh geez, like that person is really just miserable, you know what I'm saying? Like really, really miserable. And like I've known toxic people, and you, of course, you know toxic people like that as well, and they're not happy people. Even in a video game, the type of person to say something like that is usually not a good representation of a happy, well-adjusted person. So, you know, I guess feel sorry for somebody that has to kind of resort to that. Do whatever you need to do to kind of work around that. And I guess have a little bit of confidence in yourself. I appreciate the humility. You're a stupid Mercy main stuck in Plat, okay? But you know what? They're Plat too. You know what I'm saying? They're Plat too. They are no better at the game than you are. They're exactly the same skill level. And there's some things they're going to know more about than you, and there's some things that you're going to know more about than them. And so what I'm asking from you is not to have more confidence that you deserve, because that is a separate issue that some people deal with. But to be honest with yourself and like, I'm Plat. I'm Plat. I'm not silver. I'm not bronze. I might be new to the game, but I'm Plat. And I'm Plat for a reason, right? Not silver, not bronze, not low gold, but Plat. So you've earned it. You've doing something right. So at least look at yourself and be like, I deserve this rank here. And I think it's not so much confidence, so much as just being realistic, right? The game puts you in Plat, so you deserve to be Plat. So outside of that, in terms of feedback, I think like it would, if you want to join voice chat, be my guest. If that starts to become a distraction and a hindrance, my major concern is if it starts to steal the fun of the game away, right? Then take whatever steps you need to mitigate that. I'm a grown up, 28 years old, who coaches this game professionally, and I usually have team chat and match chat muted at the rank that I play on tank, which is like Plat Diamond, because comms are just useless. They're just useless, and more often than not, it's people telling each other to swap and yelling and calling each other the N-word, you know, and that's just like, you know, it's just. That's me. So if you end up getting to that point, you don't lose that much. I'm going to be honest with you. And you gain the ability to just kind of just be able to focus on your gameplay. So it's up to you. Up to you. Okay. Any questions before we get into the actual gameplay here?
Nope.
Okay. Let's do this. I will restart the stream, and you're gonna tell me what Mercy's strengths are.
What her strengths are, right? Like just as in general.
Sure, why not?
Okay. I'm blanking. So yeah, her strengths damage boost for sure. Like making, giving that 30% extra damage too. And then right now it's, boosting that Pharah, because Pharah's without a Mercy is kind of like, I don't know, it's they die so often, especially.
Sure. Let me ask you a question.
Hitman.
When you're prioritizing damaging Pharah, why do you normally pocket Pharah? What is it about Pharah that means that she benefits or needs pocket, as opposed to Hanzo or Tracer or Genji? Like, what is it about Pharah?
I don't know. I've just been told, damage boost Pharah.
Yeah. But do you see the problem with that?
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge to why.
Okay. Well, then here's the thing. Can I be frank with you? When people tell you to damage boost Pharah, they probably don't know the answer either. They just know that you're supposed to. So you're no better than they are, but you need to be better than they are. You're intelligent. Tell me why you damage boost Pharah. Don't rely on your knowledge.
It's harder for the Ana, I guess. It's harder for the Ana to...
Bingo, right there. One. It's harder for my supports to heal Pharah. That's one reason. Give me another reason. Keep thinking.
She is often, going, I guess, looking for those squishy targets.
Okay.
And it's easier for her to, kind of, to kill them, basically.
Yeah.
So giving her that 30% is more beneficial.
Absolutely. Why else?
When she's ulting, it's very easy for her to die. She's still. So, trying to possibly keep her alive.
Exactly. Okay. Let me ask you another question. How aggressive does a Hanzo play versus a Pharah play in general?
Way more aggressive than a Hanzo. He has to take his time with his shots.
Right. So then will the Pharah more likely demand support compared to a Hanzo?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But compare that to a Tracer. A Tracer usually plays very aggressive. But why don't you pocket Tracer?
It's just not safe. And also, you're giving away where she's blinking. It's easy for people to track her.
Sure. A damage boosted Tracer would be great if you could do it, but you couldn't do it without dying for it. Pharah is one of the more aggressive heroes that is pocketable because she has the verticality that can keep you safe as well. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. And the reason why that's important is because to know why you pocket Pharah is also to know when you shouldn't. When would be a good time to not pocket Pharah? You tell me.
If they have double hit scan, there's not a lot of cover. And you're just, it's just easy to get shot out of the sky.
Okay, sure. Go back to why you pocket Pharah, and then when those situations wouldn't apply. Remember, it's she's on squishies, she can't get healed by her supports because your supports can't reach her, or she goes aggressive. Those are the three reasons that you and I came up with.
Right. I guess too aggressive, way too far, into spam,
What about the opposite?
Not aggressive, just floor Pharah, might as well just damage boost the Rhine at that point.
Sure, or the Hanzo or anything else. Right, exactly. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Any questions?
Nope.
Let's do it. Okay, looks good. Slingshot and a run. So let me ask you a question. This is where we start to, remember we talked about how there's not going to be any spikes of value, but what I'm going to do is it's going to be almost exhausting because I'm going to second guess every decision that you make. But let's look at this right here. What do you think about your positioning right now? Right here.
It's okay. I get really nervous about that train. I just don't want somebody to come out of there and just, shoot me down.
Let me ask you a question right here, because that's a great point. What do you need to be looking at right now?
I guess my others. My team.
You need to keep awareness. Right.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Do you need to stare at them all the time?
No.
Let me ask you a question. Is there anybody in this train right now?
No, I don't think so.
You don't know for sure though, do you?
Yeah, I don't know for
No.
sure.
Do you think? Could you check?
No.
You see?
Mhm.
You just had to turn your camera a little bit. You just look for a half a second. Okay. Now we can stay, right?
Okay.
And if you can stay, why is that important? Because so we don't have to do this.
Go through the.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, are you gonna die for this? Almost never. But remember, the almost nevers need to be never with Mercy. We need to be consistently making perfect decisions if we want to improve. Because there's gonna be so many of us. Because like right here, you might also lose your pocket with Farah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. You see that?
I do. Yeah.
Maybe you missed the rocket. And as well as it's like when you're transitioning to this position as well, maybe there's an opportunity here to heal your Hanzo or to pocket your Ana or to assist your Rein, but you weren't in a position to do so because you slingshotted yourself all the way across to the other side of the map. So let's keep going. Okay. Damage boost. Struggling a little bit with losing a target, so just something to practice. It's like, I know I'm telling you two different things, right? I'm telling you, look at the enemy team, like do these awareness checks, but also don't break the beam with the person that you're healing or pocketing, right? But I think those are two things that you can simultaneously improve at.
Okay.
All right, looks good. Looks good. Love it. Nice job. I love that also, like, even like where you're at right now is cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not flying out in the open. You are like, I'm going to sit right here. I like this position better. It feels safer. And I think you're absolutely right. This is really good. Really nice use of the bounce tech right there. Well done. Look at the distance. Like, this is absurd. Like, what is that? That is an abomination right there. Nice job.
Yeah.
You know, you can keep the beam. Obviously, just maybe a little too far because now the beam breaks. But yeah. That's definitely how you want to use that ability. And I think... let me know if I'm overloading you here. I think you can handle it. I think you could do a better job with... I'm going to say it in a really dry way, but it'll make sense when your camera management. Okay? Right now, what's the issue with your camera management?
The floor.
The floor.
Yeah.
What should you be looking at? Because there's a few options, isn't there?
My team, the
team,
sky, fair.
Your team. Well, you don't need to look at Farah. You have your settings where it's preferred GA target, right? Or preferred beam target with GA, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't need to look at your Farah to GA to her, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need to be looking at your Farah. You can see her HP in the middle of your screen anyway. But you could be looking here. And you know what else you could be looking at? You could be looking here. Is this soldier a risk or a threat to you? Well, maybe, but you don't know that, right?
Right.
You don't know that. So it's always about finding the balance between awareness of my team, awareness of where I am on cover, and awareness of the enemy team. And this is what makes Mercy hard, is balancing and juggling all of those things at the same time and doing them all properly. This is downtime that's invested into nothing. And I've noticed this is something that we tend to do a little too much for my taste. Like right now, that torb could have killed us. We were not aware. We're kind of like zoning out, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Like right now, is this safe?
No.
Well, yeah, it is, but you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that. You needed to, again, awareness, check what's going on, then make the decision. Guess what? It's fine. But even just if this Orisa's here, she can't kill you, but she's going to javelin you and cancel the res, right? So like, just do a check. By the way, I think we're doing a pretty good job with cover positioning. I've been very impressed with that so far.
Thank you.
Okay. It's okay. Okay, nice. All right. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
It's being a little weird though.
Yeah, what is it? A little weird?
I'm bumping into walls everywhere.
Yeah,
but
that's okay. Okay, let me ask you a question. Why are you bumping into walls?
I think I'm just, I guess, getting a little bit scared, kind of. I guess, like, I think I knew there was a Moira in there, and I didn't want to get,
Remember this?
Didn't want to die. So yeah.
Right.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get, need to keep the beam on Farah. So I was not paying attention to where my.
I don't want to overload you with information here, but this is, I think this is where a little bit of it just comes from a little bit of rushing things and just hitting the button, And so what ends up happening is all you needed to do was walk 1 meter forward and then press the button. And this is, okay, remember we talked about reinforcing bad habits, right? And how that can come to be actually negative practice. Mercy is one of the worst heroes when it comes to that, because think about your GA usage. Think about your beam usage. Everything but res is something that you're constantly spamming, so it's really easy to reinforce bad habits. And let me ask you a question. Do you think about every single GA that you push? Every single one?
No.
No. Is it reasonable for you to think about every single time you press the 2-second cooldown?
No.
No. But you have to be very careful that you don't ever think about it. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Like right here, you just press it, but you didn't really think about it, right? We can even go back to here. So when you clonk your head chasing the Moira, you're just pressing the button. Like right now, why did you jump there?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Like it's, I guess, a habit of taking high ground.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And this is something that's really difficult to break, because you are playing a hero where it's spamming text and spamming GA and things like that are really important, but you can't completely autopilot. Otherwise, things like this happen, right? Or things like I'm looking like that happened, for example. You broke your beam a little bit. Unfortunate. You need to be really careful about this. Most Mercies have the habit of spamming things and then getting into the habit of, oh no, I lost a fight because I accidentally spammed attack on autopilot without thinking about it. So what makes the hero hard? And that's why we really need you to be fully focused, right, for your training, because otherwise you're going to start reinforcing these habits when you shouldn't. Well, this is something. Camera management, right? First off, obviously a little slow to get to cover. Second off, damage boost here, please. Third off, where should your crosshair be?
Trying to get on my team.
Well, maybe. Does your team need help?
No.
Maybe you don't really know, do you? Like, I don't think so, but you don't really know. Okay, your crosshair is where your eyes are usually. Okay, where should your eyes be right now? Hey. These guys are shooting at me. Do they see me? Do I need to get out? And you're not looking. You're just kind of like, what nice architecture. You could be looking at these guys. Do they need help? Do I need to damage boost my Hanzo? Do I need to heal my Ana? Or is there a flank? But this is where your awareness has to step up. Because right here it's like, oh, you also lost beam too. Good. But the threat here is just a better team kills you. A better team kills you right there.
Right.
You could Valk this as well. I mean, it's Valk, there's never like a perfect time to use it, but if there's a time to use it, you use it, right? But like even here, I just see Pharah's got beam, right? So where should your camera be right now?
On my team.
Right. Well, should they? What's going on over here?
Enemies. Yeah.
Are you walking into Soldier LOS right now, or Torb LOS? Is this Orisa going to javelin you?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I don't know. These are questions that you need to answer. So with Mercy, it's almost can be a little bit of a nauseating, constantly checking what's going on left, what's going on right, where's my team, what's going on here, right? There's where your mechanics comes from, is that hyper awareness. And when we talked about Mercy skill set not carrying over to other heroes, you know what skill set carries over really well to other heroes? That skill set right there. If you're able to do this, your Kiriko is going to get better, your Ana's going to get better, and your GM Widowmaker is going to get better as well. Just general awareness of that kind of stuff. And like right here, could you have saved this Hanzo? I don't think so. But you didn't even know that he was critical, nor did you know that he was there, did you?
No.
That's on you.
Not until I got back, yeah.
And that's on you. We talked about the spam, right? You see body, you press res.
Yep.
If you give it 1 second, this Moira fades in. She probably gets her head blown off by the damage boosted Farah, who you were not only not damage boosting, but you're also putting your own life in the line.
Right.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see what we got. Now. You respond to an audio cue here. If you responded to this any slower, this Ana dies. So this isn't perfect, but this is good. You should feel good about this one.
Okay.
Okay. You see it even here?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, your crosshair hasn't moved for like the last 5 seconds. So you're either itching your nose or you're playing Mercy. One or the other. But it's like, this is the thing, it's like with Mercies, it's like everybody says this about quote unquote Mercy mains, but it's actually a really unfair thing because it's not what a Mercy should be doing, right? Like right now, Pocket and Farah, she needs healing. Okay. So then you got one or two things you could be doing. One is, well, you tell me, what are those things? What should you be doing right now with your crosshair?
So either looking at the choke to see what type of enemies can see me from that position.
Right, exactly.
Or my team.
Right.
Making sure Ana's good,
right.
you know?
Yeah, right. Where's my Ana? Maybe even just like looking at this Hanzo just in case he gets crit, because he's peeking aggressively, right? So there's a chance that a Kiriko hits a shot and I'm going to need to drop Farah immediately to heal this guy up. But you're just kind of like, you know. For a second there, I was about to praise you for like not immediately rezzing, and then like, okay, we're good. Okay, well, I'm gonna res, but I realized you didn't have res. So, no. Okay, this is good though. We got a. By the way, I think as well, it's like when is a good time to Valk?
When I get it, for the most part,
sure,
I guess.
Sure. As long as there's a fight going on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's just you use Valk, things get a little bit hairy. They use an ult in response. It's fine. It's fine. I think even now Valk would be okay. Careful! Don't just you see the tech spam, right? You don't want to. You didn't want to bounce there. Definitely could Valk this. Win the fight. I don't care if you're up 1. I don't care if you're up 2. Win the fight.
I'm just holding it too long.
Yeah, you can use it right now too. You see. So you again, like we see the quote unquote the tech spam decision here. So you go Farah, right? Farah is the proper pocket target. But should you fly? Where should you stop your GA? Where should you be right now?
Like right on the high ground right there.
Right, you should just probably cancel like right here, right? Almost, and then like drop behind the corner. But what happens is you cancel in what is a very common Mercy tech, right? Oh crap. And then that's what forces your Valk.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
Use Valk mostly to kind of get my.
And that's fine, What it should be, though, is that, like, I know I'm going to be in a more aggressive position with how I want to play, therefore I'm going to preemptively pop Valk, not, oh crap, I made a mistake, then I have to pop Valk, you know what I'm saying? It should be a conscious decision to make a more aggressive play that will be enabled by Valk.
Yeah,
okay.
I kind of wasted it, because I didn't even use the split beam for anybody else but the Pharah.
Yeah, and it happens, I like that. So I don't know if you're looking at your Farah here, but obviously, like, you need to check this door, right? You need to keep your eyes on that door. Keep your eyes on your team, keep your eyes on the door, and so on. Oh, bless me. Good. Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you on console or PC?
I'm on console.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because I see a lot of these turns are very uncomfortable. This makes total sense now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a whole lot you could do about it. Maybe you could up your sensitivity a tiny bit. I honestly don't know.
Yeah. So before this, my sensitivity wasn't like, it was at 100, but there's advanced settings and I didn't know about them. So I just recently changed my my sensitivity to like the highest it could be.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Skid and Skisty just released a video on that. Yeah, I mean obviously that would be the way to check, because I could tell like what's happening is, like, I don't know if you've got my my stream pulled up, but it's like you walk forward and then you like whip, and then you're like it's very like rigid. So the reason why that's so important is because so much of what we're talking about is like looking around and awareness. And obviously, if that's uncomfortable or difficult to do, then you're just not going to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? We need to make what you need to do as easy as we possibly can, so it's easy to do. Otherwise, you know, either that or you're gonna have like the world's like most jacked thumbs. Okay. Nice. I mean, this is like obviously responding to an audio cue, but this is why you being so like alert, not just like quick on the draw, but alert is so important, right? Like this movement is fine, you know, but like bam, this Ana should be dead, mate. Like this Ana should be dead. You know,
I think she does die.
She does die, but even then, she still is able to get off a few more extra heals, and you never know. Like maybe that's the difference here. Careful about the flight there. That's again just like you just kind of like press the shift button, you know. Lost your Pharah. Where is your Pharah? I honestly do not know where your Pharah is. Where is your Pharah? Oh, she's back. She's left you. This is silly. You might get away with it in Plat.
Yeah.
But do you don't know where that Torb is?
Nope.
Nope.
And she dies again because I leave her. Yeah.
I don't know. You came back. You know what I'm saying? I'll cut you some slack. I'll cut you some slack. Get him. Oh man. Oh bless me. Oh, okay. Unfortunate. Okay. I always love the skipping ahead in the replay viewer because for whatever reason the soldiers always T-pose for like a brief second. It's only soldier. I don't know why. All right. Yeah, whatever. Careful. Nice. That was good movement there. You could Valk this if you want to play it safe. Nice. A lot of your movement is very reasonable, by the way. I think maybe the only problem I have is maybe that your movement is your tech is a little too good, so you have a tendency to spam it when you shouldn't, you know. But I think you're doing a fine job here. Oh, good. Okay, yeah. See, like this is perfect. Like that little bit of balance gets you a little bit of extra height, and then like what are they supposed to do about you know? Like how do they shoot you? You know, this is really good. Okay. So again, here you could Valk. Like the fight is definitely breaking out, so you could Valk here, and this will just make it so much easier for you to do what you want to do.
Okay.
Really nice job. But why?
I think I was trying to cover them a little bit.
Body block?
Yeah, but it didn't really work out.
That's okay. That's okay. I respect it, but no. But no. Yeah, just no. It just cancel the GA fly, cancel the GA here, and then go from there. And again, the Valk, right? We're holding it for Guam at this point in time, and there it is. You make a mistake, you Valk. We don't want to see that.
Okay.
Good. Okay. That sucks. Quickly turn around. No res. It's okay. Yep. Okay. Nice. That's okay. We're good. Do you have any? Okay. Let's put it this way. What are you seeing so far? What needs to be practiced?
My Valk usage.
Yeah. What about your Valk usage needs to improve?
I'm just holding it and then just waiting until like I almost die. I guess and then Valking to get out of it.
Okay. So then what's the solution? What do you need to practice specifically?
Well, positioning, like so I don't feel like I need to use my Valk like when I'm in bad situations.
Sure.
And then also like just if the fight's breaking out, you know, just popping it and then damage boosting the whole team.
Yeah.
So everybody gets.
Exactly. Okay. What else are you seeing? What else needs to be practiced? So Valk usage, and then exactly how we need to practice that. And I want you to take the time. Are you on? Can you type on your phone or on your computer or whatever? Okay. So I want you to type in our chat on Discord right now, what you just said to me. You can just do it in a bullet point, just simplify it. But I want you to type it up for me.
Like where in chat?
Just
in
here.
The Discord?
Just right here, on our DMs.
Okay.
easy to remember when you're the one typing it, you know?
Right.
and you can always go back to check it later.
Not using it when
You're good.
I'm trying to. Okay.
Okay. What else did we talk about? Talked a lot about Valk usage. What else are you seeing?
Camera position.
What do you mean specifically with the camera position?
I'm looking at the floor sometimes,
Right.
or just kind of staring into the abyss, just
yes.
zoning out.
Yeah, exactly.
When I should be paying attention to enemy LOS or, you know, our team, especially our Ana, making sure she doesn't,
Exactly.
you know,
Okay.
die.
Okay. So here's the bad news. You got to write it again.
Okay. See if I can type it.
Talked about building jack thumbs. Now we're talking about another way of building jack thumbs. Chat, do you have any questions? Anything that you feel like you guys are seeing, or have any questions about Mercy? Could take this downtime to kind of reflect and think. It's overwhelmingly difficult hero when it comes to juggling all the little micro things.
Okay.
Okay, those were two of the big ones. Is there anything else that you're seeing? Because I want to look at one more fight when this is done.
Just I guess the hitting res right when there is, you know, right when I have right when I see a soul, you know.
We want to build the habit of doing what right before we res?
Looking around.
Okay, right. Just 2 seconds. Just quick awareness check.
Yeah.
Very similar to your camera usage, right? Just like we want a general awareness of like what's actually happening, and then making the decision based off of that. Because I think when you give yourself that time, you'll be able to make a good decision. Okay, so that's what we need to practice. Don't just need to practice reses. That's a lazy thing. We need to practice looking around before res. That's the skill that we need, right? Okay, so for the third and final time, good luck.
Okay.
Do you think having spent time with that quest has made you better at reviewing the hero? Skiesti? I think Skiesti had a lot of good...
It was easy. So.
Oh, okay. Well, dang, I was answering a chat question. You just really ruined my day. Okay, it's okay. I'm messing with you. No, it's fine. Okay, let's look at one more fight, and let's see how we do. So then now, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to literally mute my mic, and I want you to coach yourself. And you tell me to pause, and you tell me what you should have done better, and what you did well, what you didn't do good. Okay? Sound good? I said okay, and then I just said sounds good. I'm not going to even wait for your response. Okay.
You're fine.
Okay, you ready? Coach yourself. Tell me when to pause.
Okay. I guess this is good positioning. I think, and that's horrible. I shouldn't be looking at. No.
Okay.
I know I should not be there.
Okay. Why do you think you were there?
Spamming tech. Oh, no, I think I was trying to get to the Rhine, maybe. Where is he at? Or somebody. There was somebody over there, wasn't there? I can't see. Yeah, the Rhine. I was trying to save him when... Yeah. God. Somehow, they should have killed me there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just backing out. Positioning's fine. But there's a Torb up top that... There was a Torb up top, but that doesn't matter. He's getting... This fight is just kind of lost at this point. We lost our Rhine too early. Yeah, now I'm stuck. I really should just... I'm so surprised they're not trying to kill me right here. Really should just be focusing on trying to back out.
This is the wildest fight I have ever seen. What's going on? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Honestly, I lied. You're doing a good job. Okay. The first tech was like really stupid, but like this is pretty good. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll shut up again. All right. Here we go.
No, you're good. Yeah. I mean, my positioning's been all right. It like they really should have killed me sooner. Jeez. I mean, I that was a good valve. Try to stabilize the fight. I don't know why I'm shooting. There's nobody. Oh, I think there's a widow over there or something.
Yeah, the widow just died. I know. That was probably that was a good fight. Let's. I'm not alive. We're gonna do one more. You down for one more?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do it again. This is fun. This is wild, man.
So I'm pocketing my Hanzo because he just has more, in my opinion, he has more potential with a damage boost.
Remember we talked about with the Pharah?
Mm-hmm. Like, he's being more aggressive. Like, the Torp's just... Yeah, the Torp's just depending on his turret, especially being in... He's just kind of, like, wanting that to, you know, win the game, I guess.
Right. As long as you can pocket this guy safely, this is the best target, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to get up there, but...
Look at that camera movement.
Like, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm looking around at this time actually, like...
It's cover usage. Man, this is good. My coaching was so good that like retroactively like made your second half of this game that much better.
Yeah.
I lied. I'm gonna do another fight. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to this movement and positioning now.
Right here, I'm just really trying to stay out of LOS. Like as much as possible, just because like the choke is so dangerous right here, especially with Orisa.
Look how fast your reaction speed is with the Hanzo pocket. Watch this. Look at the damage boost, right? He starts to take damage. He starts to get a crit, and you're immediately on heal. That was at 0.25 speed too. Nice.
Oh wow.
Nice movement. Oh man, you're just cracked. Oh, this movement too. Look at that. To get the beam on the Ryan and break LOS.
Oh god, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, but it was like if your Ryan survives, maybe the fight's winnable. You know, like you had to pocket your Ryan. You know.
Right. Oh, the javelin. I tried.
Oh no! We were this close to greatness. We were this close. You were so close. There's so many good things to say about the last 3 minutes. Like really, truly, like you've got immense potential. Like I don't know if you've been working on some stuff. Like this looks so good, but like just give it a second. You know, like it actually turns out that maybe this res wasn't even necessary at all. Maybe you should have just touched with Valk and done a little whoopsie doodle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That is just so depressing. Okay.
Right.
Lots of good things to say. That's so many good things to say here. What are some things that you're doing well, really, really well? We've talked about the things that you want to improve upon. I think if we look back at the patch notes, the notes in your Discord, those are all very relevant. Okay, after what we've seen, especially that last one. But what are you doing really well? What are the good things? What do you need to keep doing?
My positioning, I think, has been really well, especially in this game. I was really paying attention to where I was at for the most part. There was a couple of mistakes, but
the mistakes seem like a misapplication of tech that was on an autopilot, less so than you being stupid and not thinking about it. I think it was just like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. What else has been good?
I guess, yeah, my voice line. Whenever I hear a voice line, you know, especially Anna's voice line, like she needs healing. I
You're listening.
forget what it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
listening, making
Yeah.
sure, you know,
Yeah.
not using my camera, so I figured out a different way.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, you found a long cut. I've liked your beam management has been quite good. It seems like
Yeah.
it's not perfect, but it is one of your strengths, I think, is your ability to decide, heal, and damage boost. And I very rarely saw you on heal when a target was full HP. We did see it sometimes, but I think it was definitely something that you were thinking about. And I will say your tech usage as well, definitely abused sometimes in a bad way. And it got you either killed or close to being killed a few times, but as many times as you messed it up, you also nailed it, and then you saved your life from it. So I think what is Widowmaker doing? Anyway, there a lot of things that looked really good. Okay, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, if you do, you can think on it. Well, does chat have any questions? Actually, we should open up chat. Maybe chat has some questions that will be helpful, or for me, or for you, or maybe they'll remind you of things. Are you familiar with the replay code rule?
I wasn't until you said coaching.
So you know exactly what to do now. Perfect.
Yes, I know exactly what to do now.
Okay. Well, I will give chat like 10 seconds, and we're going to sit here nice and awkwardly. Well, you know exactly what you need to work on. I would recommend working on one of those skill sets at a time. Obviously, especially for such an ironically mechanically intensive hero as Mercy, you're not going to be able to practice all three of those things at the same time, especially if you go to like that first point, which was Valk usage, not using it in trouble positioning, so don't use it. I mean, that's a mouthful, right? That's a lot to practice at once, so focus on just that.
I don't know if
go ahead.
I don't know if I had Valk for that last fight that we watched, but I probably should have popped it when the Rhine was in trouble rather than actually going in and almost killing myself from the result. So
Agreed. Okay, so guess what? You're going to play coach. Are you ready for this? I got a question in chat. How important is it to know that backwards GA fling?
Oh, it's super important. It's just like, especially like if you could do it backwards, like, and go sideways at the same time, because then you're taking yourself out of like bad positioning, especially if there's like a soldier or a soldier. They're gonna, you know, like if you can get out of their LOS or be unpredictable, it's super important.
Piccho asks, should you hard commit on a pocket even if they're being too aggressive?
It depends. I guess in my opinion, it depends on whether or not, like whether or not they're actually hitting their shots. Like I'd look at the board and see like if it's valuable, like if it's worth, you know, doing.
Yeah.
But if they're like all the way in their back line, like probably not.
Okay.
Just depends on how aggressive, I guess.
Sure.
Case by case.
Would it have been better for you not resing the Rhine given the danger that it presented? That last fight there, right? When you got Jatland?
Yeah.
What would you have done?
I should have just touched point and then kept my 2 DPS alive. Trying to stall point, and hopefully the Rhine gets back with the Anna in time, you know? And maybe we can stall them out, get a couple picks, hopefully.
Okay. I've got one, maybe from the alternative standpoint. Spoon says, if one of my supports is a Mercy and I'm a Sojourn Genji, but they're not pocketing, should I ask for a pocket or is that bad? What do you think? As being on the other side.
So one of my Mercy and
you're like a Sojourn Genji and they're not pocketing me. Should I ask for a pocket or is that bad?
Yeah, you should ask for a pocket. Like if they're pocketing the tank, then they should just pick another support. There's no reason why they're pocketing the tank, because you're not going to keep the tank alive.
Okay, so you're smart, so you understand how to play Mercy. But what if that person is not as smart and gets their feelings hurt? How would you ask for a pocket without coming across as rude?
I would just say, hey, I don't know. I would be like, hey, I'm kind of dying a lot. I see that we have like whatever support. Maybe you could focus me a little bit and just kind of say please, like honestly, or like even just wave to the Mercy sometimes indicates, oh, this person wants this.
So say please and wave. Yeah, honestly, you'd be surprised where a little bit of manners goes. Okay, well, thank you very much for your advice. Your advice is great. Do you have any questions that have come up in the last 5 minutes?
No, I think especially the first part of the talk before the replay was very informative. So
Okay. I want you to keep me updated with how that stuff goes, and if anything does come up, you know,
Okay.
not just the replay stuff, just anything in general. You hit me up at any time.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
You are very welcome. Have a good rest of your day. Keep in touch, and good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye. That was our Mercy friend. I guess Coach Mercy, Coach the real aunt. I don't even know what to call the real aunt, but then her Discord tag is her name, but then the Twitch name is something different. So we'll call it Grippy Socks. That was Grippy Socks, the Mercy extraordinaire. Okay. Nice one. Thank you. She did a good job. Is she actually an aunt? I don't know. You ask her. She's in chat, right? Grippy Socks, are you an aunt? An aunt? An ant? Yeah, her nephew? Yeah, hilarious. Okay, let's do our free coaching raffle. Are you guys ready? So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of doing the murdering trees, I'm gonna do the wheel of names thing here, and we're gonna do this one live. So here's what we're gonna do. If you guys are interested in the coaching raffle, please put raffle in the Twitch chat so I can start writing your names. So don't have to do exclamation mark, just type raffle. Kamito, oh my goodness. Oh my days. Oh, my chat! Ah! Okay, we're way around. Kamito, spoons. Now keep in mind, if you're putting in raffle, we are coaching now. So you need to, if you want to get coached, you need to have a replay code available. Indubitably. Jesus, these fonts RD Fizz. I'm not gonna type everybody's name all the way out through. You'll Slow Moon, Blondie, Fox, Owl, Candy, Striker's Positioning. That's a great name. Oh shoot. Holy crap, there's too many of you guys. Okay guys, you guys gonna have to bear with me. Strikers Positioning, Shyrox. Hey Shyrox. Kamito. Yeah, I got you guys because you did the exclamation mark thing. That's okay. I didn't clarify. Locky. Chips. You guys are typing raffle twice. I see you. Don't even try that shenanigans on me. Stalfos. Geomaster. Wanter. Grezin. Keelver. I already saw Artie Fizz. Pizza. Oops. Pizza. Cavronium. Bring back tree murder. No, this is going to be something. Gamer Goliathan. Use Nightbot for this dude. I'll have to figure this out. I will figure this out at some point. I'll do it next time. I promise. Actually, that's not really true. I don't know if I will. I will. Stalker. A lot of people, yeah. Nightbot giveaways. It's too late. I've committed to it. It's sunk cost fallacy in action as we speak. Chase Nave. Rob. Never mind, says Keo. Wow. Nice. You're letting me down, mate. It's too late. I've already put you in. There's no never minding anymore. You're gonna have to come up with a replay code, like if you get drawn. Get rolled. Thick Pigeon. Phantom Flex. Jex. I'm Jehex. I take mine, you have back, you have class soon. You don't have to be here for the review if you don't want. It's okay. I'm keeping you in. Phantom Flex already. You didn't miss it, no. Romulo. Spidey TDK, Phantom Flex. Tam USA Esports. I retake my feedback. I take back. Chips and Gavin? Oh no. Oh, you're right. What the heck? Chips, TDK, and Gavin? Wait, where did I mess it up? Oh, TDK Gavin. Well, I'm just so bad. Thank you for the heads up. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Ardmark. Oh, hey, Sunshine. How are you not partnered? Like triple my viewers. Twice my personality as well. Is there a minimum rank to this raffle? Absolutely not. Beeron, Repairman, J-Dub, Darth Cookie, Pax. Oh, is that Pax? Is that the Pax? Like that's not it. Is that Pax? I feel horrible now. I'm gonna insult either. If you're not Pax, then you've insulted because I got confused with another Pax. There's just it's a lose-lose at this point in time. You removed the check mark. Someone told me to drop the ego. Yeah. Listen. Once you hit diamond, it was all downhill from there. I hope you win it just so I can yell at you. Just say raffle. How do you join? Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else that is not in? I don't know who's the Pax, but it's definitely me. Okay. Just because we all know you'll win. Yeah, I like the confidence, but you're an idiot, so no. All right. We'll give it like 10 more seconds. Anybody? Okay, see cat coins. I knew I should have waited. Cat coin. Nice name. Daily Penguin. Whoa, there. Fingers are in the wrong position. I've got a new keyboard as of like a couple weeks ago. It's a nice gift from somebody, so. You're not an idiot. Ah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I have to be nice to you. Simper. I think we got everybody, right? Anybody else? Now here's the other thing. You gotta have a replay code for me. Alright? Ranked game, preferably. Doesn't have to be a ranked game, but prefer one. It better not be the stupid open queue game I got from last week. I drew an open queue VOD last week. I was like, no, it was fun. It was honestly fun though. Okay, you gotta have a replay code for me, and you also get to decide if you want it to be a roast or you want it not to be a roast. So you can choose whether it's a roast or non-roast. All right, Mr. Heroes. Oh my days. Scrim VOD, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it was something else. All right, I guess we're good. No final contestants into our thing. 45-minute total mayhem. I think I would rather watch the Twilight series. Oh, there's one more. Nice. Hakame. All right, if you want to enter, type raffle. Look at this. 2 more at the last second. Oops. Oh my gosh. Tetris just sneaks in. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. Should be ashamed of yourself. Dingus Dingus. Dingus the Slayer. Oh jeez. All right. I think this is it. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. What is wrong with you guys? You guys, come on. We're almost done. All right, guys, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Look at you, another one. They're all in. Lucard, and Prado. 10. Oh my gosh, they're still coming in. All right, wait. All right. Do we do this in voice or not? No, you don't have to be in voice. No voice. You can choose about whether you want to get a roast or no roast. You get to choose. Did I miss somebody? No. All right, here we go. 10. Oh my gosh, I can't! There's another one! I swear, I've discovered the key to getting more Twitch viewers. Why buy Twitch viewer bots when I could just start counting down? 10, 9, you don't see your name? I swear your name is in here. Oh yeah, see, I messed it up. There you go. Thank you. If I mess it up, we'll just do a 50-50 coin flip for the 2 names that I combined. Okay? You'll be good. Okay. There's another one! 400! Okay. Okay, here we go. 10. No, I missed Troxo? Did I miss Troxo? Okay. Troxo. If I miss anybody, I apologize. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna feel bad. I always feel bad. Oh, I feel bad for who doesn't. I always hate doing this kind of stuff. It's so stressful. Dingus! Dingus! Dingus the Slayer! No way! Dingus! Dingus! Do you have a VOD for me? Do you have a replay code? If you do, please DM it to me over Discord. You won, Dingus! You did it, Dingus! We're so proud of you! Your mother and I, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your cousins, your great aunt Nuffle. We're so proud of you! Nice, Dingus! Dingus did it! Yes! Yes! Dude, absolute Sigma male behavior right here. Dingus the Slayer. I know what I'm naming my grandchild now. I don't have a grandchild. I don't even have a child, but I'm gonna name my grandchild Dingus. Joining the Discord right now. All right. Just DM it to me. It'll be like a message request or something foolishness like that, and I'll check it. All right, Dingus the Slayer. Are you doing Ask Spilo Discord this stream? I don't know. Let me actually check. Do I have enough questions? Probably not. I don't think we have enough questions. Yeah. See, we only have a few questions. We'll probably do it on either this Saturday or next Tuesday. That was amazing. Oh yeah, if any of you brain dead idiots are not in the Discord already, you should be, because you're like, oh, I didn't win the drawing for the coaching. But like, guys, check this out. Check this out. Spilo stuff. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. These are all free VOD reviews that I've done. Look at it. Look at this. It's monstrous. There's so many free VOD reviews in here. The entire VOD review. And if you don't, if that's too hard for you, because you're a moron, I get it. I wish I could relate, but I can't. Check out YouTube @/Spilo2. Subtle self-plug. I'm not making any money off this second channel, so it doesn't really matter anyway. This is like the full VOD dump channel with all the full Twitch streams, all the off-stream coaching. Like, I did 2 VOD reviews today before the stream that were technically stream coaching, and they will be uploaded today to this channel. So if you're like looking for more coaching, looking for more VOD reviews, and it's in YouTube, not Twitch. So I know people hate the Twitch UI and all that foolishness. So okay, Dingus, DM me. Dingus is still digging up a code, I assume. Oh, thank you for the...
Thanks for the review.
You're very welcome. Thank you for answering all the questions at the end. I appreciate the bits. You did a great job. Good luck on the improvement. Keep me updated with how this stuff goes. Goat? Well, yeah, I'm in it, so it's Goat. Iron Balls. Like, who comes up with this name? Classic Dingus moment, yeah. There's only one Faravon in the whole thing? True. There's only one Faravon, yeah. We're doing okay though. Like we actually have some Farah coaching now, and now we have a little bit of Ramattra coaching now. It used to be just the Sojourn Genji Kiriko club, but now we're expanding. Blow you a kiss as well, yeah. I only blow people a kiss if you pay me large sums of money. I'm talking like 4 digits here. Did you see the new map? No, I can check it. I don't want to look at the new map just yet until they like actually properly release it, you know, so I can actually explore. I don't want to waste my time until it's like actually properly looked at, you know. Unless they actually do that. Do they do that? Junkrat gonna happen soon enough? I mean, we did the Jake collab, you know, it's in here. Check it. It's in here. The Jake collab. I mean, it was mostly just Jake, because he was the guest, so I just let him blabber on, and he knows what he's talking about. So, but yeah, there's strong crack coaching in there. You sent it? Where? I have not received a message from you. Where did you post it? The heck? Am I smoking crack? Where is this? Did you post it in the general channel? Dingus! Dingus! I'm gonna get hog coaching. I like hog coaching. I've done some hog coaching already. Dingus, where? You sent it directly, but it's not showing up. Look, there's nothing here. I can't show my DMs here, but I didn't even get a message request. Which is your Discord account? Which is your Discord account? Do you mind? Can you leak that in stream? I see some people join, but I don't. What the heck, man? I've not even received a message request. I usually receive a message request. What? Did it end up being Biggie Cheese Hot? No, it didn't. Okay, I mean, honestly, Dingus, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I just didn't have you just post it in Twitch chat, but yeah. Now everybody in Twitch chat has access to your replay code. A little sussed. Okay, let's and yes, I did just say sus. Okay, what hero are we looking at? What rank? And do you want a roast review or just a normal review? Oh, never mind. I know who it is. The name is literally Dingus in game, so it's obviously Dingus. Looks like Kiriko. Oh no! Alpha Chad Dingus plays Kiriko? Oh, it's so disappointing. Maybe it's just like the Clark Kent. It's the Clark Kent. You know what Dingus actually means? Dingus actually one-tricks Junkrat and Bronze, but we have to give the impression of being a normal human being, so Dingus actually plays like a, you know, whatever. Masters 5 flex support, but we really know you're a Junkrat OTP. I gotcha. Okay, roast review or normal? Normal review, Masters 5. Okay. Patrick Baneman is now following. That's I don't usually see my text or follow notifications, but I had to give that one a shout out. What is wrong with OBS? Or yeah, OBS. Okay, Matt can't get my stupid thing to work. Okay, so here we go. Masters. Let's just go. Let's just do this. Rashi, just because you think that you're cool because I said something about bedpan for you, this guy's like gonna be living off that high for years. I'm sorry, what are you doing here? So be really careful about this. Like, I mean, obviously you know that this is a mistake. Like, you don't need me to tell you this, but I think the major problem here is not just like, oh, you gave up high ground, but like the risk is that you gave up high ground and then you drop into the LOS where like you don't really have your eyes on your actual threats here. So please be really careful, Dingus. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. So obviously with the composition that you're playing into, you're going to be expected to do a whole lot more besides just heal bot. Your Doom doesn't need that much support, especially when you're playing with an Ana. So there's going to be a lot of expectations that you're going to contribute to controlling space by taking angles yourself and shooting DPS as much as you can, or just shooting tanks. So, ooh, that Hanzo almost got you. Like right here, like if you think about it, like no other support could actually push in aggressively here, and like actually, well, okay, few supports could actually push in aggressive here, but remember you're Kiriko, so you can just chill out, you know? Oh, that sucks. So a little goofy with our positioning here. Be very careful. So like if you do end up TPing like a situation like this without your Suzu onto a location where somebody needs help, you want to like TP and kind of lean backwards. I don't know how the best way to describe this, but basically when you TP here, you understand that there is a risk inherently out of TPing here. So you want to TP, and then as you're healing or damaging, you want to be like disengaging to cover. You don't want to play more aggressive. So you don't go in and then keep going. You TP, and then you actually back off towards cover. So anytime you do like what I'd call a naked TP, you know, actually that fits really well. You're just totally naked. You don't have your Suzu, you don't have your ult, you don't really know what the situation is, where your TPing is. Whenever you do a naked TP, always lean towards cover and playing it more safe until you have more information. So like right here, even like I don't like this. I would like you looking this way as you're doing this here. Ooh. I knew somebody was going to say something. This is good. Careful about peeking that Hanzo, obviously. Okay. Yeah. Right. Get back to high, get back to high, get back to high, get back to high. Stop! Okay, so we want to like as quickly as you can, as soon as you get an opportunity to. You've dropped whatever to like get a little bit of a spam angle, but then like right now, climb back up, take this position here, and get set up. So you're getting. It's like. We talk about this called, like, if you've heard guys have heard me say it before, it's the mobility curse, where you have mobility, so therefore I can just position however the heck I want to. Now, that's good in terms of like a good aggression, like taking off angles, taking flanks, not having fear to hold like, a position like way up here. But it's bad in terms of when you don't respect cover, when you don't respect high ground, right? We've seen that a couple times already, where it's like, oh, I have a TP, I'm fine, but then that almost gets your head blown off. And not to mention, we would like you to have your TP still available. There's nothing good taken out of this aggression here. Yeah, there's a real lack of cover, right? Like your bash should have died there because you didn't have Suzu, because you were standing in the open. And the thing is like, did you get anything out? It wasn't so much that you were playing aggressively, so much that you were playing silly. That's the thing. There's a difference between using a Suzu because you were going for solo aggression versus just there was no reason for you to be there. You weren't hitting shots, you were just doing nothing. Probably not necessary. Really, probably not necessary. I think you could have played cover there better. I will say that that's a little bit more of the aggressive playstyle that we were talking about. I just think we could have played cover there a little bit tighter, and then probably not use Suzu at all. This is not Masters, I don't believe it. This isn't a roast review. Be sweet. Be kind. Okay. Nice. Good awareness of checking your doom, like not fully abandoning him. There's a very thin line between genius and insanity. Amen. Amen. Probably not necessary. You need to kind of read the room a little bit better there. Check the cover. I understand why you Suzu, but I still don't think it was good. And I will say this as well. So like, when we're nitpicking positioning a little bit, I don't see any reason for you not to be like up here, because there's a little bit better sight lines here and a little bit better cover. Like, we don't want to just take high ground for the sake of taking high ground, but I do think that this would give you more options and more information than where you're at right now. Don't. And the reason why I say don't, well, yeah, this is why I say don't. Okay, chat, why is shooting the Pharah here bad? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Because sometimes shooting Pharah here, good. Sometimes shooting Pharah, bad. Why is shooting Pharah bad now? She's a lock on you. Yeah. She's definitely already spamming you as we speak, which is definitely a problem. Why else? Do you see what's happening on your screen right now? We can't help this. There's nothing else to shoot over here. So that's irrelevant, right? Kiriko does 40 damage. They have a Zen, so it's not your problem. Yes, true. So you guys need to understand. Okay, let me make this. Let me make sure I'm not like completely making this up. Opportunity cost. I feel like that's the proper term, but I'm kind of dense. So yes. Okay. Opportunity cost. Wikipedia. Bless me. In microeconomic theory, the opportunity cost of a particular activity is the value of a benefit given up by engaging in that activity, or relative to engaging in an alternative activity. Dang it, I'm kidding. I choke. Okay. More effectively, it means if you choose one activity, for example, an investment, you're giving up the opportunity to do a different option. In other words, when I shoot Pharah right now, it's not so much that, hey, I could shoot Pharah, I got nothing else better to do, because obviously if you've got literally nothing else better to shoot Pharah. But that's not the case here, isn't it? It's not the case. This is happening, right? And by tunneling on Pharah, you're missing an opportunity not to necessarily support and be a heal bot on your Bastion, but to freaking teleport up here, Suzu, and kill this idiot, right? If there are other things to do, you want to do what you were the best at. And right now, because you're tunneled on Pharah, oh gosh, he almost dies. So I'm totally fine with you doing low return on investment moves, as long as there's nothing else better that you have to do. You have to be very careful about locking onto that. Okay? Okay. So that was a great Suzu. Totally necessary. You see he had no mobility cooldowns? Ooh, okay, I like the idea. I like the idea. I don't know what happens here. Does he just cancel his punch? Yeah, he just trolls. Yeah. I respect it. I respect it. It just doesn't end up working out. There's an Ana behind. Where's your Ana? Your Ana's behind you? Oh, bless me. Okay. Not the end of the world. We behaved relatively well with it, despite. Can we get out? We get out. Nicely done. Assist Viagra. Okay. Oh no. I'll say that's a 50-50 move. You could TP in here and Suzu. I would only TP in here if you could, Suzu. But I can also very well understand why you would not. So I'm not, I think maybe even a 60-40 it's better to not. Very reasonable Suzu, given that you see the fire rocket, somebody's already critical. Okay. Nice. Nice. I swear these sleep darts are so loud, it sounds like it's an enemy on a... Oh. I beg. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Listen, we need to have a talk. I'm not roasting the person we're coaching, okay? If you play Bastion, stop ulting like this. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. You're an idiot. Stop ulting like this. Stop! There's nothing going on. All you're gonna do is drop big ornamental blasts that they're gonna go, huh. If they're not bronze, they're not gonna die. I can hear the stupid, you know what it is? It's, look at this guy. He's not even in cover. What is this, a Masters lobby? Are you kidding me? How are you this dense? And I see this in every ring. Look. It's not hard, okay? Let me tell you how to Bastional. I've already, look. I played Bastion once, and I already knew exactly how to ult. You're gonna use your turret form, then when you don't have your turret form, when you're a useless fat waste of space, then you're gonna duck behind a corner, and when the chaos of the tank trade is happening, you're gonna drop bombs. And the idea of dropping the bombs is that while the fight is going on, the supports, the DPS, the tank gets distracted and not in a good position to avoid it. So you're more likely to get kills, and even if you don't get kills, you at the very least can force them to move in positions and locations that can create space and opportunities for your team. Let me just play this out a little bit. What happens if we had like Bastional, like right now? Okay, right now, Bastional, right now. Oh, they're dropping it. Crap! There's a diva on me. We survived the diva's DMech. Now, Bastional, as soon as the bomb's over, imagine if we had Bastional right now. Bam! 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 Right? And either this guy dies, or you force trance, or they all have to disengage the Bastional, and this stupid diva is completely isolated with no help at all. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. Why do people open with Bastional before the fights even start? It doesn't do anything. It never does. And whenever it does, it's always like, well, that accidentally happened. It just frustrates me to know it. It's just a complete lack of sense. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any logical sense. We're masters here. Nobody knows any idea how to do anything perfectly, but you think at least accidentally people would figure it out. Why? What is it about Bastional that's so hard to understand? I just don't understand it, guys. It happens every time I review a VOD when Bastion's in it. Everyone does it the same thing, and it doesn't make any logical logical sense. It doesn't. I don't understand. What is it about Bastion ult that people just waste? It's always Bastion ult, and it doesn't matter the rank. It happens in every single. I reviewed a GM VOD with a Bastion, and they did the same stupid thing, and I got nothing. No split, no resources force, no cooldown force, nothing. I just don't understand. Am I missing something? Is there does the F1 tell you to use it pre-fight? Is Jeff Kaplan like coming back from the grave and like forcing these guys at like knife point to use it incorrectly? It just frustrates me so much. Like it's just so obvious to me. Like how do you not see it's a slow moving project? Of course it's not going to get value. Just even experiment when you do the same thing over and over and over again and it never works. It never works. There's not even positive reinforcement for doing the wrong thing. If you're bronze, maybe, yeah, because people don't know how to move, but I just don't get it. Oh gosh, guys, it just so frustrates me so much. Look at this idiot. Oh, Diva's out. What are you doing? You're so dense. Look at that. Look. She's wanting nothing. Why would you go for the Diva? Why? The target that can Matrix. Are you kidding me? Why is he ulting the Diva? You're joking. Probably not necessary to TP that, but I get it. Nice pocket, Ray Suzu. Your Bastion is just killing me, man. Okay. So I really do think like your positioning needs work. Like you're again, it's like the mobility curse. You're just a little bit too sloppy, and I think what it ends up doing is it costs you your TP. And while their comp, like I don't mind if you get your TP force because you're going for a really aggressive, greedy play, but a lot of times it just feels like you're just a little sloppy to positioning, and again, you're not getting anything offensive out of it. So it's like wearing your seatbelt. I'm a risky driver. No, you're just stupid. You know, you don't get. There's nothing good. Like this is. You're not like doing cliff diving where okay, it's a risky act, but there's a reason to do it, right? You're just positioning poorly and you get nothing out of it and you get your cooldowns for it. Nice. I just don't. Oh, I guess they have a lever, so that they're okay. There's a lever, chat. So that was something, I guess. I don't really want to review footage if there's a lever, so let's skip to where the guy comes back. Oh gosh, my ears. Okay, so they're back. Let's continue. Oh, you died. Oh, you died. Oh, yeah, just a little bit greedy, a little bit sloppy. I mean, obviously they came back, and you're like, oh, I know, like your mental's probably kind of dipping because it's a 5v4, and you're like, oh, it's, you know, whatever. But yeah, you definitely have a consistency where you tested positive for COVID. Get wrecked, nerd. Imagine having a literally perfect immune system like myself. This is what we're talking about. So, you just TP'd. This guy doesn't need health. You don't know where Dragon Ult is. You just TP'd. You should. This is crazy. Where is the dragon? Hello? Oh, was your wait? What? What? Is it in here? Hey, look at that. The Bastion Old God value. I wonder how. Look. What? How? I wonder how. Okay, well, this guy's tilted. Yeah, the dry TP into that was really not wise. And then again here, like, you just get a little bit sloppy. You just get a little bit sloppy, and there you go. Suzu cost. You could have Suzu'd your Bastion. Imagine if you'd Suzu'd your Bastion because your positioning was okay. That's not that's on you. That's on you. And now the Hanzo's checked in. That's one of the messier TP bombs I've ever seen in my life. Oh gosh. Again, like, I understand the baby diva. Like, I want to keep the baby diva alive. I'm gonna be honest with you, the baby diva's dead. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. You need to get out and you need to save your Suzu. You know, you need to save your Suzu for your Ana, for your Hanzo, or whatever. Leave the baby diva, because once again, you're trying to pocket the baby diva, cost you your Suzu, probably should have cost you your life, and your baby diva dives anyway. It's just sloppy. It's just sloppy. Next round. I bet the Hanzo said some intense slurs. Yeah. The Hanzo was probably in a very war crimey mood. Ah, jeez. What is going on? Oh my gosh. You see, do you see what you did right there? That's what I would call a kind of a naked TP, because you don't really have a lot of information on it. You did have your Suzu. So I'm not, this isn't necessarily bad though, because you notice how you TP, you see nothing there, and then but you don't like push in aggressively. You kind of like drop back, right? And you're like, okay, nothing's here, then I can hold this position. That's what we wanted here. Do you remember this here? That's what we wanted here. Okay. This game is wild, man. Okay. Oh, yeah, just a little bit close to cover. You get me a little tingly in the bottom. Okay. Yep. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Right. And even like this here, like, just be very careful. Right. It's just like, you're just a little sloppy. Just a little sloppy, right? This is a little bit of ego, but I don't have as much of a problem with it. So then if you want to keep peeking, obviously respect Discord, but you want to peek from here, right? You don't want to walk into symmetric junk spam, and that's what we do, right? We walk forward just a little bit to where one mine, and then there's your TP, right? And the other thing as well is, like, if you ask yourself, what would be the best position for you right now? When your Doom goes in, your Doom is flanking, right? I might want to be like up here, you know, and like look for some shots over. I thought that was a symmetric trip for a second, but yeah. Questionable. Careful, careful, careful. You guys just straight up. What? What? Why? Am I awake, chat? Am I here? Like, are we live? Like, okay. Okay. Is this really happening? So, like, here's the thing, okay? So, like, you died to a baby diva. You died to a baby diva. And you want to know why. You don't need to know what you need to be doing better next time. Here's the thing. Once again, the answer is opportunity cost. Now, I can make fun of you for being an idiot dying to a baby diva, but that's okay. And technically, this isn't a roast review, so I can't do that legally. Anyway, I want to ask you a very important question. What's happening elsewhere in the battle? You know, you're up 1, you got the baby diva mech, but do you know what the Junkrat is? Do you know what the Ramattra is? Does your Doomfist need healing? Does your Bash need healing? Could you be shooting easier targets, more impactful targets? Do you really think a baby diva in her current position is any threat to your team whatsoever? Could you be healing? Could you be damaging? Could you be assisting people with Suzu or TP? And the answer to all those questions is you don't know, and that's the problem. So that's when, once again, we come to the opportunity cost. If you don't know what you should be doing because you're focusing on a baby diva who's really no threat to anybody and not even that easy to kill with the current position, you put yourself in bad situations. You see, the mistake here isn't dying to the baby diva. The mistake here is giving the baby diva the time of day. Don't give her your attention whatsoever. Focus on what's happening elsewhere. Because actually, if you look at this fight here, the mistake isn't so much that you die to the baby diva, although that's the obvious one. The other mistake is right here. Why is my Doomfist dead? Why is my Doomfist not receiving the support that he needs? Look at this. Look how much space that he's creating. Well, he dies because he doesn't have the healing support that you would otherwise provide. You allow the enemy team to clutch and trade simply because you didn't focus on opportunity cost. So stop focusing on the little details, focus on the big picture. What is the most important thing that I can be doing? And if there's nothing else, then you can shoot the Pharah, or then you can shoot the baby diva. Hope that makes sense. I'll see you next time. British? What do you do? That's not even remotely British accent. You guys talking about? Like again here, right now. I think shooting Pharah here is good because I don't think there's anything else to heal or do. Now I do want you to heal your Hanzo. Okay, you need to heal your Hanzo. But then as soon as you see Hanzo safe, take some pot shots, you know what I'm saying? Stinky. And Doomfist lands and trap again. Oh, this is a wild VOD. This is a wild VOD shot. All right, we go Batiste. We'll get a little bit of Batiste coaching here. Why not? That was a questionable shift. That's a really powerful cooldown. Right. You could probably be juggling some heals in there as well, but oh, just a little bit of positioning, right? You just blah, around the corner and get your head blown off. So we'll wait when we finish the VOD, but I think there's definitely a theme with you that needs to be practiced. Oh my goodness gracious. Shift there. It's just like, do you see it? I understand what you're doing. You're like, I gotta save Diva, gotta save Diva, gotta save Diva, I gotta save Diva. So then lamp this if you need to, and then immediately stop shooting Pharah. Look at where you are. You're cooked. You're cooked. And then you're jumping up to do aggressive damage at 50 HP. You're cooked. You're cooked. No shot this forces a trance. How does it force a trance? Bro, what? It doesn't even come near him. The Bastion makes the same stupid mistake. Just jack all. And the Zen trances air. Oh my days. I just don't know who to be more disappointed in anymore. Thankfully, we can focus on our Batiste who will help us. Read my messages for the answers? What am I looking at? What answers? Nice. Winnable. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Get him. Get him. Do it. Ah. All right. This is just a little bit, okay, so this is just positioning versus Farah. You can't lose track of her. She's gonna destroy you if she can get on top of you, so you just need to be aware of where she is. I don't think you're playing too badly here. You're definitely not playing well, but you need to not lose track of Farah. This is a gold lobby, not Masters? Am I being trolled? Oh my gosh. Again, it's the same mistake though. So like, I appreciate you helping your diva, but you can't not look at the Farah. Like she can't just get on top of you like that. That was a great rocket, but you can't. And that's it. Okay, big takeaway is just I need you to be a little bit more disciplined with your positioning, with how you're positioning, better cover, better corner. And I need you to try your best to not get tunneled on doing meaningless pressure or damage here and there when there's other things that you could be doing that are more impactful elsewhere. I really think the simplest fix for just the quick replay review that we did was really just to focus a little bit more disciplined with your positioning when it comes to cover. That's the big one. Cover. And then if you're very disciplined with your cover, then you can play very aggressive on flanks and angles and play a DPS Kiriko, but you have to stay cover. Cover is what allows you to play DPS Kiriko that much better. Okay. You have any questions, Dingus? I will sit quietly and reflect on what we've just... I don't know, Izzy. We'll sit. Maybe we're typing up questions. That was a very interesting review. No questions. Thanks for the tips. No problem. Cheers, mate. Hope you found that one relatively helpful despite the shenanigans. That was maybe the strangest VOD review I have ever done. That was bizarre. I'm not gonna lie. That was absolutely bad crap insane. Hi, Ashi. Chat. Second rule of support, leave spawn. Oh, jeez. I'm trying to think what we should do here. I have to go soon, but maybe we'll do quick ass Spilo. All right, we'll do a quick ass Spilo. How about that? Quick ass Spilo. Quick. I have to say it really carefully because it comes across as quick ass Spilo, and that's not what we're doing. So, quick ask Spilo. If you guys don't know, !Discord, you can put any questions you may or may not want to have asked. That makes no sense. In the Ask Spilo channel under the Spilo stuff category, and I answer them about once a week on stream. And if you're not there to get the questions answered, then we always post the timestamp of the clip. Afterwards, you can go back and watch it. Okay. Big Hoss Real. On mechanics, you mentioned that you're supposed to shoot at the end of your strafes. Does this apply to tracking like BAP or projectiles like Zen? My aim saw on both has always revolved around movement tracking for me. Yeah, so let's actually pull this up. I literally just closed Overwatch, and now I'm opening it back up again. So I think it's a little bit less important for tracking heroes, but I do think it is important for a hero like BAP, because BAP does, although he has 3-round bursts, they do come in bursts, right? It's ba 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 ba. So if you go strafe, shoot, strafe, shoot, strafe, shoot, it's like a dance, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so what you would try and do And it definitely applies to projectiles as well. And this is a very, very like simple answer to a very complicated question. I'm gonna take these stupid earbuds off. I don't care if you guys have to deal with that. Screw off. Okay, so the way I was describing shooting, strafing, is you don't, when you're strafing, right? You don't want to be shooting. The latency is unreal right now, but you don't want to shoot. You want to be shoot, strafe, strafe. You see, like I'm shooting at the very end of the strafe, because as I stop my strafe and then start the other direction, bang, there's a brief split second where I'm moving very little as I'm changing direction, and you want to kind of, if you can even do like pause strafe, you know, you see this, like you don't even have to be doing constant strafing, and those little pauses help reduce the movement displacement, and so it's good to do that. Now that definitely applies to Zen as well. So you don't go woo, right? You would go poink, 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 poink. That could kind of help just a little bit. I don't think this is a major deal, but it is worth noting, especially if you can pause in your strafes. So in other words, I might go like I'm like pausing between each shot, and then I'm trying to strafe between. So like I shoot, move, shoot. That one was not good, and that's something that you can practice. Yeah. Minor little thing here. Counter strafing, yeah. The only thing with Overwatch is the reason why I wouldn't say this is the most important thing in the world is because technically in Overwatch there's no movement conservation. So unless you're fully stopped, you're not really reducing the amount of crosshair movement. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. But again, like I said, very simple answer to a very complicated question. How do you play Sojourn into dive? I feel like either position myself in off angle and get dove, die, or slide back to team, or play with team and get crowd. You take an angle, slide back to your team. Take an angle, slide back to your team. Sojourn is the best, one of the best dive characters in the game, because you can take aggressive positions and not die with your shift. Your shift is one of the best defensive cooldowns in the game. So if you need to take angles and then you get dove, you dive or slide back to your team. If you're dying before you can slide back to your team, then you've messed up. If you're getting dove and then you end up sliding back to your team, that's okay. It costs them cooldowns and pressure to actually get you off of the angle. This is what you want. You want to make them slide onto you. And this is something that Dallas really struggled with versus Proper, because Proper would play very aggressively, and every single time I felt like Dallas had to put pressure on Proper, otherwise he'd kill 6. But then even then, diving Proper, you're not going to get the kill. He's just going to shift away every time. So is this the setup the reason why I can't hit Plat? That's an oven? It's an oven. That's something. I'm surprised you're able to hit bronze. How do you get the thing where you draw on the screen? It's just epic pen. Epic pen. Epic pen. What is the meaning of life? Well, let's respond with a nerd emoji in that one. It can work. Poor guy is really missing the on-fire mechanic. No, Varashi, please stop with the dad jokes. Please. You don't have to, okay? You don't have to. Do gold low plat teams that don't force meta heroes upon all players actually exist? So how am I supposed to find one? I'm still stuck at the game, but I really want to try organized team play. Just to experience 5 people. I was told that there was a gold team that are more about finding people who enjoy playing together that I was trying to. Man, I don't know. I listen, I sympathize. Like, there would be nothing more tilting for me than being like a lower to mid-rank player and join a team that's like, we have to play meta. I'm like, we're gold. No, meta. God, we're platinum. No, meta. Now you know who the people that play rank will be like, well, actually, Genji's not meta anymore. You should probably pick Sojourn. Actually, Mercy, not the best pick. You see, I saw a video. Kiriko's the meta right now. You should be playing. Actually, Roadhog is actually trash. You really should be playing Orisa. And if you're not playing Orisa, you're actually throwing. Do you even want to win this game? Actually, Tracer, it's too hard of a hero for you to be playing in Plat. If you're playing in Plat and playing a high skill hero like Tracer, you're actually throwing. You should wait until you're like top 500, maybe top 5 before we pick up a high skill hero. Like, actually, Widowmaker, can you please swap? Can you pick like an easier hero like Soldier? I saw this video that like Soldier, it's like an easier hero to pick up, so like you're trash, so recommend picking that one up, okay? You know, that's so annoying. Like, I don't know. I would keep looking. I think like Cal is good, r/Overwatch is good, Elo Hell is good. Maybe if anybody has any suggestions, if you guys want to jump in this thread and offer your suggestions, that would be great. The new coaching site looks sick. Favorite vegetable? Peas are okay. Carrots are alright. I eat carrots a lot, but they're not like my all-time favorite. And I'm going by the strict definition of vegetable. I'm not, because otherwise I'd say tomato, but everybody knows, well, actually, tomato's a fruit, right? But yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a tough one. Carrots, peas. Lima beans are okay. I'm not a big fan of beans, but lima beans are okay. You're 25. Geezer! Woo! Potato, yeah, potatoes. That is a really sweet potatoes are really good. Sweet potatoes are yams. Actually, they're yams. Okay, your theory of playing just one game a day with absolute max focus sounds interesting. However, how do you marry this with needing to warm up? That's the thing. You don't. 5 minutes of AXA. Yeah, I mean, you're playing a much more mechanically difficult hero than I'm talking about. I was considering doing it with Orisa, so or like a support hero. But with Ashe, good luck. Good luck. That would definitely be like you need to do like the bare minimum of warm up, and then 5-10 minutes, and then do your best with what you can. Yeah. Wait, how old is Spilo? I'm not answering that question. What are your thoughts on streamers doing Unranked GM? Here's the thing. All right, listen. I think there's a very nuanced way of looking at it. Here are some truths. Unranked GMs are wildly overrated educational content. Here's some other truths. Unranked GMs, especially if they're freshy accounts, generally tend to ruin a lot of games because the game doesn't generally place people accurately, so they're inevitably going to end up in gold or plat or diamond, and they're going to ruin a lot of games on the way to GM, okay? Okay. So we'll say that. Now, I'm going to say one other thing as well. I also can see that unranked GMs, especially if they're done by somebody like A10, I've heard Yeetle is also really good at narrating their gameplay. So they're not just simply doing the unranked GM because unranked GM content, but they do narrate and they explain their thought processes really well. So they're overrated, but there is good value to be found there. And I find they can be fun to watch. So whenever you're able to package educational content in something that's enjoyable to watch, then the value of the education is generally higher. So respectable. Secondly, I do know that unranked GMs do very well view-wise. So if you're a professional content creator and you need views on your YouTube channel or your Twitch streams or whatever, doing unranked GMs so that you can eat is understandable. I'm not a fan of it. I think they're overrated, but I'm not gonna slander anybody for who tends to do it. Didn't Metro? I'm not talking about Metro. I'm not talking about Metro. I don't wanna, yeah. If you guys have questions, put them in Ask Spilo. Otherwise, they're gonna get buried. Put them in Ask Spilo, please. If you can't join the Discord, that's fine. Just let me know. With the changes to charge, do you think the what? Oh, do you think pocketing Sojourn? Yeah, of course, because the major reason why you pocketed Sojourn is to hit the one shot with Railgun. Now, obviously, building charge a little bit slower is still not great, but she's still doing higher damage. You know. Thoughts on the new map? Well, it's unquestionably a map, and it is definitely based in Antarctica and appears to be in Overwatch 2. I don't know. We'll have to wait till they actually let me roam around with it. And honestly, it's always hard to tell. It's hard to tell immediately off the bat anyway. Okay. Thoughts on this incredible development? Wait, you can fish in the Overwatch 2? What? I mean, sure. It's fun. It's low-hanging fruit. It's fun. Why not? If it doesn't take up too much developer time, that kind of fun stuff is always fun. Dad jokes? Did I make a dad joke? Oh no. Oh no. Any tips for adjusting playstyle for Doomfist to early metal ranks, coordinated target? No, you just need to be aware of like where your team is, and this is always the issue when it comes to playing Tracer, playing Genji, playing Winston, playing Doomfist. You have to have a general idea of like, is my team in the general vicinity, so that even if I don't get direct follow-up, they'll be there to get some sort of indirect follow-up. I mean, that's to me the really important thing. I mean, it's just a good habit as a tank player to generally know, is my team near me? Not necessarily near me, but like, can they see, shoot, whatever, so that as I'm causing chaos, that there will be some sort of pressure following up with me. I mean, dive tanks, you don't always need synchronized dive for dive to work. Dive tank causes disruption that other people can follow up off of. The question is your team in a position to follow up of? A lot of problems with lower ranked tanks is they tend to just go, woo! Right? And their team's like, hey bud, we're still in spawn. We're coming back. We can't help you over there. So whatever you're doing, we can't help you. Okay. When picking a duel, should you AD strafe without using the WS keys, or should you incorporate 3D movement? WS is worthless when it comes to taking a 1v1, because although I guess technically your hitbox gets hit bigger and smaller and it slightly adjusts your hitbox, it's such a minor thing, it's not even worth putting emphasis on. The only time WS actually matters is obviously if there's talking about somebody shooting you at your side. Let's say you're an Ana, you're like, have to keep my Ryan alive, and I'm just like, oh shoot, Widow, you know, then that's fine. But no, I would not use WS strafing in an actual 1v1. I have an esports matchup tonight, and I play Ana. Any quick points to keep my mind for the matches later? If it's an actual proper match, just think about your nanos, communicate your nanos, synchronize your nanos. Like, make sure you know what you're doing with nano between each and every fight, and try and communicate that to your team as best as you can. That's the simplest, easiest, biggest return on investment that I would focus on. Good luck. Hope it goes well. If a new hero comes out, how do you decide whether to swap them into your hero pool? I play them, and then I say, wow, that hero is fun. I want to play that hero. Then I play that hero. That's it. How do you deal with mobile long-range heroes on high ground when you have multiple heroes in your team with no mobility or range? You play in positions where the high ground doesn't matter as much. So like you guys talk about Dorado, right? Talk about Dorado second, that big nasty old high ground. Sometimes you just can't clear that high ground. So what do? You play under it, and like literally under it. Not where they can see you, but where they can't, they have to look at the floor to see you. So you need to play in a way to where they have to come to you to stop you. And that's why payload maps work, because a lot of times objective pressure, if you use cover, forces the enemy team to stop the payload. They have to get close to you, which if you're playing heroes without mobility or range, Reaper, Mei, Reinhardt, Ramattra, right? That's what you want. Easier said than done. There's a reason why Dorado, you play Winston and you don't play Reinhardt. But if you have to, that's what you got to leverage. Any tips for hit scan DPS when the enemy Hanzo Widow just decide that they don't miss shots for the game? No, stick to your pool. Stick to your pool. Stick to the heroes that you enjoy and that you know. Obviously, if it's Soldier, Cassidy, Tracer, then you need to avoid peeking them and instead focus on doing damage to the rest of the team. Because remember, Hanzo and Widow are valuable heroes, but you can be a valuable hero as well. Just don't play to their strengths. If I'm playing Cassie versus a Hanzo Widowmaker, I don't even peek them unless I'm close to them. Instead, I focus on doing damage to their tank line or to other DPS and other picking off their supports. You play the duel when it's advantageous for you, and then you avoid the duel when it's not. And that's just a general rule for any DPS, period. Advice for new collegiate flex support, advice for Kiri ult usage. Find out what you need to be communicating. Talk with your teammates. Hey, would it be helpful if I communicate? What would be helpful for me to communicate? Generally, it's going to be about your ultimates, basic positioning, like this is where I'm set up. Advice for Kiriko usage, use it like Valk. Fight starting, the enemy team is not going to be able to easily kite it. Use it. It's a great opening ultimate. It's one of the few ultimates that it's pretty easy. You don't rely on the enemy team not having cooldowns for it to get value. Just make sure it doesn't get easily kited. Okay, is using your movement to land more shots a bad habit when trying to slowly develop your aim? Ask because I'm new to PC. I think it's something you want to avoid. So I think you need to try and avoid using your movement to line up the crosshair and more focus on using your arm to move the crosshair instead. So I wouldn't, here's what I will say though. Whenever it comes to aim issues, I find simply having a decent sensitivity and then just playing the game generally is the best way of dealing with it. Unless you're like gripping the mouse like hey guys, I'm gonna aim like this, you know, and you're like got like a trillion sensitivity, so you're like, you know, or like generally the rest of the issues tend to kind of solve themselves. So yes, technically you want to generally aim more with your arm. That way it opens up your movement to be focused more on other things, but it's don't sweat too much about the details. Just focus on more on putting the hours in and try hard and Vaxta and just playing the game. I don't know, Regulus. We'll give it like one more minute and then we're gonna call it. I heard mobility. Change setup because legroom is required. Is this better or worse? Well, the quality is a lot worse. But obviously because you have 2 monitors, it's better. Clearly, I don't think anybody could argue that. We're talking about movement a little bit. Oh, if you want to know more about this, by the way, we have a collaboration next Tuesday with an aim and movement coach who knows a lot more about it than I do. So you guys will have to come in next Tuesday. How do you deal with sniper characters for far back with pockets when you can't play hit skin that well to match them? Hard to flank them. If they beat them elsewhere. We talked about this here. Let me try and draw this up. So Widowmaker is tough, yes. But if Widowmaker is back here and I can't get to her and her tank line is here and her DPS and supports are here, then as long as I'm not peeking her sight lines, I can take an off angle and do just as much as the Widowmaker from positions like this, where she can't see me. Like let's say there's a wall here, you know, or like a box here or something like that, like a box here. Then do more than her by just taking better positions. Like these are very, very broad questions, very vague, no offense, but very vague questions. But if you can't directly contest the Widowmaker, then play in a position to where you don't have to peek the Widowmaker and still do a lot of damage. Because what might happen is you start lighting up the enemy tank and then their tank line's getting tilted like, come on, Widow, get picks. But you're positioning really well to not peek her. So she's doing literally 0 damage while you're doing more than 0 damage, right? A lot of it comes down to just like contesting and positioning properly. If you can't directly contest them. I've gotten to GM on PC recently and I've switched every day as a sequel. I would continue to experiment with it, but I would not be switching it every day. No, I would be switching it. It depends. Like if you're getting on PC and you're like, I'm on 10,000 EDPI and 5,000 EDPI and 2,000 EDPI, no, you need to at some point pick a sensitivity. You can try the PSA method. IOSUX has a video on that. It's going to be more of along the lines of you need to stick with the sensitivity and work with it. Unless sensitivity feels really bad, you just need to grind it out. You just need to grind it out. The problem is that I've worked with players before who got like all mental about their sensitivity and would like start rapidly changing it. Like if my aim feels bad, it's my sensitivity, and it's a really bad road to go down to. You really need to be careful. As a tank player, should I prioritize outplaying their tank or their backline? I don't know, man. That question is just like impossible to answer. As a Widowmaker, should I focus on picking the enemy backline or the enemy DPS or the enemy supports? Both? I don't know. Like both? Like I feel bad, but I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know how to answer that question. Depends on the tank. If you have a good matchup versus their tank, like if I'm playing D.Va versus Winston and I can murder their Winston, then focus on the tank. If I'm playing Winston into D.Va and I'm like, I don't want to mess with D.Va, then focus on outplaying their backline. If you're playing Orisa into Roadhog, you can outplay Roadhog pretty easily and deal with him. If I'm playing Orisa into Ball, there's not a lot I can do to versus Ball. I kind of ignore Ball and I focus on doing what else I can do. So I guess if you're not good in the tank matchup because the hero is you're bad versus the hero, then focus on the backline. Otherwise you can focus on the tank, I guess. Yeah, that's the best I got. Thoughts on how to deal with farm playing tanks and DPS? Can't play hit scan. Either play tank good, you either remember Pharah is 2 resources. I get this question, I swear, like every 2 weeks, and the answer is always the same. There's no disrespect, but it's usually you're overthinking it. You play the game, you either deal with a Pharah as a D.Va or whatever. There's not a lot of other things that they can deal with her that you either contest or shoot her, or you outplay the enemy tank who doesn't have a second support and win the tank trade, or outplay the enemy DPS that isn't the Pharah who's not going to get the extra support and take space that way. But the thing with Pharmacy is it's a very high risk, high reward play, because if it doesn't work, you've got 2 of the resources tied up in one thing. Winners, losers queue, it doesn't exist. As far as we know, we have no proof of it actually existing. What we do have proof of is that mathematically, you are a greater percentage of the lobby. So if you are confident because you're winning games, you are more likely to carry games because you're confident. If you're losing games, you're more likely to lose because you're tilted and therefore go into loser's queue. Okay? Loser's queue is self-imposed. Now, I have a couple of other suspicions as well. You could take a coin and flip it 5 times in a row or 10 times in a row, and you'll find it's way more streaky than you think it would be, okay? That's how odds work. For some reason, the human brain thinks that 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't work like that at all. It is very normal to go in streaks. Now, you could make a good argument that it feels like, at least in Overwatch 2, that you go in winners or losers streaks more often. I have definitely noticed that to be the case a little bit, although my sample size is very small. That's another thing you have to consider. We don't have... So my suggestion, although I don't have a lot of proof behind this, is my first suspicion is that Overwatch 2 doesn't adjust your MMR as fast as Overwatch 1. If anybody who's played Overwatch 1 remembers, if you lost 3 games in a row, you were down about 100 SR. And that's a significant dip. Okay, we're talking about Masters 5 to Masters 4, right? Or Masters 4 to Masters 5, excuse me. So what I'm suspicious of, I might be totally wrong, is that Overwatch 2 does not adjust your MMR very quickly. Maybe it does it once every 10 games. Maybe it doesn't even adjust your MMR until you've replaced after 7 wins or 20 losses. So what that means is that, let's say you're playing really well, the games don't get harder, even though you've won 4 in a row, 5 in a row. The games stay at the same MMR until you place again. Or if you're playing really poorly, let's say you're on a really bad loss streak, you're tilted or whatever, and you don't deserve to be where you belong with how you're playing, you don't lose 150, 200 SR immediately. You stay at the same MMR, even though you're tilted for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row. That's my suspicion. I don't have any proof of it. I don't know, but I feel like if that's one thing to blame, it might be that. It's a dollar, thank you for the sub. So what I would be curious is to see if that is indeed the case. The MMR changes after every game. Okay, well then I don't know what to tell you. If MMR changes after every single game, then it's gonna have to be self-fulfilling prophecy with being more confident or less confident after wins or losses. Maybe the MMR doesn't change enough, because MMR changing after every game, it could be changed 1 SR technically, right? Let's say you win a game at 2600 SR, right? You could win a game and go to 2601 SR, and then there's no dramatic jumps. So that doesn't necessarily that's good to know, but that still doesn't necessarily disprove my point. I'm not defending it because I'm right or wrong. I would want to know, how much does the MMR change after every game? How much? We don't know. And as long as they don't tell us, then people are going to be like conspiracy theory about it. The thing about the old SR system is you didn't have, like, MMR and SR weren't the same, but you had a better visual representation of where you actually were. There's a lot more going on behind the curtain with the current SR system. We also know that it's a lie. They told us initially that wins and losses solely affect your rank up system, but you can go winner, you can be finish positive multiple placements in a row and still your rank won't go that up. So I don't know how it works. They say the stat-based system doesn't work, but then they don't provide enough information about what we need to do, and that's where a lot of these conspiracy theories come out. Because I'm in between. I agree with you. I don't like this new rank system. It's stupid. Right now I'm on tank, and I've only had the time. I don't have time to play the game very much. I'm very busy, so I only have placed twice on tank, and yet it's going to take me another 40 games to actually find out what my true rank is. I don't have time for that. And I also don't know what my actual SR is, because every time the season restarts, I go back again, and I'm like, well, what SR am I actually at? I'm technically Plat 1 as tank, playing in Masters lobbies every game, and absolutely doing and competing, not just getting carried, but competing. So what rank am I? You know, people don't like that. That's we can call out the game for being an unfun design, but the same time, the people are like, oh, losers Q, winners Q, conspiracy, elo hell. Yeah, screw off. Get good. I've still to this day have never found somebody that was in a rank that they didn't belong. I've still have never found that. I've seen people that were like Masters 5 that looked like they were Masters 3 and vice versa, but the SR discrepancies are usually very minor. If you're good, you're going to climb. It just might not be as fun. It's a stupid system, but we don't have to be conspiracy theory about it. Like, I think that's like a general human nature, is whenever there's something that we don't like or don't understand, we can critique it, but we shouldn't necessarily jump the gun and assume that there's something really evil and malicious in that. Like sometimes that's the case, but it's not always a good to assume that, and that applies to real life as well. Alex Jones Overwatch 2 edition. I mean, that's the thing. It's like Alex Jones is a classic example of like somebody who has seen a lot of like really, really messed up stuff. So then everything is like you start to question reality. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't want to end up like that. How does one counter an amazing Hanzo player like RJ? Don't lose track of him. Don't forget about Sonic Arrow. So many of the ways of dealing with really good heroes, really good players on really good heroes is just not forgetting that they exist in terms of their positioning and then being able to adjust accordingly. Like if you're playing versus Yazin on Farah, don't forget where he is, because if he's gonna take you sleeping at the wheel to kill you. I'd say at least 50% of the kills that those players will get will be because you forget for a split second that they're there. And in Overwatch 2, that's especially unforgivable because there's one fewer player to track. Obviously, things like Sonic Arrow, avoid their sight lines, things like that. But for Hanzo, it's usually not too complicated. Agreed, Pax. Would you recommend getting coaching if you're still active recruiting? I would wait for now. So you're going to pay me for coaching, so I'm motivated to say get coaching now. But I would recommend waiting not until you've stagnated completely but where you feel like you would appreciate some outside. So if you're still actively improving at a steady rate, you're probably good to go. And then even my coaching will be more about what you can do to help you continue to improve on your own at a steady rate, rather than telling you exactly what to do. Yes, playing. I would say 12 hours a day is probably pushing it too much. I would try to be very, very careful about how you don't want to burn yourself out, and you also need to take care of your health and things like that. That's a lot of playing. Do you have separate MMR for quick play and ranked? I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that like the response is that quick play matchmaker is much less strict, but I'm not sure. How do you approach coaching new and very low SR players? Just ask them questions. Know what things are, like a general sense of like what things are priorities, playing around your team, decent positioning, not wasting your ult, tracking the kill feed. Simplify things, and then also don't overload them with information, because a lot of things they're going to kind of figure out on their own, and you just have to have a sense of prioritization. That's the same as anything else, right? You don't want to overload with details. You want to kind of discuss and feel like they have more confidence going into the next game without overloading them with little things. Because I'm trying to go pro, yeah, just ease into it, right? Like there's not a huge rush, you know what I'm saying? There's not a huge rush. You don't want to burn yourself out. Like, you know, the pros of today probably were barely even playing the game back in Overwatch League Season 1, you know what I'm saying? Opinions on one-tricking, it's fine. If you enjoy one-tricking, roll with it. Some heroes are more one-trickable than others, but I think pretty much every hero in the game is GMable with one-tricking. We'll give like one more question and then we're gonna call it. Just want VODs? Yes, I would avoid it just as a sort of a preemptive measure. Make sure that you're getting enough sleep, make sure that you're taking care of yourself healthily, and if you feel fine, great. But it's like it's the same thing with like I work with players that have like, oh, I get 4 hours of sleep, but I feel great. It's because you're 18, 19. You're gonna be really, really struggling with that time investment right now. Not only will you build bad habits, but bad habits now. It's not like, oh, I can just be healthy when I'm older. You know, you're gonna wish that you had been healthier earlier. What makes a good coach? good communicational skills, good interpersonal skills, being able to communicate and relate with people. I think the number one thing that I want to accomplish in my VOD review sessions, which doesn't always happen because it's only an hour and sometimes the questions don't always come up, but I try to get the person to feel comfortable. And if I can't make the person feel at least a little bit comfortable, then it's a lot harder to coach that person. Not because they don't open up, but just because it's harder to communicate and relate. They don't have as good of a time. They're not as tuned in. So being personable, being kind, also what makes a good coach, and this sounds really corny, I think what makes a good coach is just something that if you actually really care about the people, like you just care about people, that's something that I'm always trying to do, is just like legitimately just like really care about their interests and what they enjoy, and like it's hard to fake that though, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't fake that, you know, and that's something that I've just learned over time from people, my good friends and my family, is like learning how to really care about people. And to me, that's like, it's not I don't know how to like teach that, you know, you just have to like people, you just have to be interested in what makes them happy. And but that good communication, good understanding of the game, I think a good understanding of things outside of the game as well. Yeah, thanks mate, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just basically, it's just gonna catch up with you, mate. Like you want to start building good habits right now, because it is gonna catch up with you. I mean, it's not even like years from now. It might catch up with you in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? You want to invest good time and like, yeah, you want to invest good time. Fellow Winter is typing. We'll give Fellow Winter a few more seconds. I don't want to call it off right as they're typing a question. I'd feel horrible. Cat is now typing. This is like the raffle earlier. Bob Mini Jr. is typing. Oh boy, maybe we might have to type. We have to go. You're good. You're thinking on wording. All right, sounds good. I like your name, by the way. Maybe Bob Mini Jr. Let him cook. We'll let Bob Mini Jr. as I slowly lower my desk. I got a standing desk a few years ago. It's pretty decent. Except it's kind of broken. I don't know what happened to it. I think it got kind of clunky in the move. So I'm like, yeah, I have to do it like little bit by little bit. I can't do a lot at the same time. Hey, OCD. I need to get a standing desk. Yeah, it's all right. I think they're a little overrated because standing isn't exactly good for you either. It's just a little bit of variety, because like my knees hurt if I stand for too long too. So it's like, yeah, it's not good to stand for too long either. But it's at least it's better than sitting, because you can stand a little bit and you can sit a little bit, and that's generally what I do things. It's better than nothing. Several people are typing. How do you help your team as a tank if they're getting run over by Lucio Rush and your team is playing something like Mercy Bat? Put out as much pressure as you possibly can preemptively as they're trying to rotate, so that you can help them do their job a little bit better. So I think it's like all about like getting early and often pressure, so that by the time the Lucio Rush gets to you, they're already weakened, their shields are lower, they're down a few cooldowns, they're down some HP. Last question, sorry mates, last question everybody. Is sitting posture and how much of your arm used when you aim important? I find when position is different. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's important. Yes, absolutely, it's important. You want good posture as much as you can, good arm positions as much as you can. You know, like you want your elbow, not quite your elbow, but like your forearm resting or your elbow resting, and then making the adjustment from there. It's not the most important thing in the world, but it's probably worth putting into in the meantime. I highly recommend looking up Fluffy Kitten. I don't want to cop out here, but a lot of your questions would be answered with just a little bit of YouTube and Google search, because these questions that you're asking are questions that I can give you good general advice for, but I promise you that there's doctors, sports medicine guys, and just pro gamer coaches who've put a lot more thought and time into researching these questions, and they're going to be able to answer them way better than I can. So I will admit, not ignorance, but a lack of depth of knowledge in that category that you will be able to find more information on elsewhere. So I recommend you doing that. Okay, chat. Loves and kisses. This Saturday, collaboration with Boger. Stay tuned, as after the stream goes live, I am going to be posting a free coaching offer. So this Boger Winston, and we will be offering free coaching for Platinum or Diamond Winston. So if you are a Platinum or Diamond Winston player on Twitter, I will be making a tweet, and you will tweet under it with your replay code, your rank, and all that foolishness, and we'll be doing that.